It's called a calendar, Eric. You use the calendar, and on the calendar, it's got the days of the week. This is
Right.
supposed to be Friday. Today's Monday. It's Monday.
Oh,
That is
uh,
days away from Friday.
I've had a lot of concussions.
It's not like you even missed it by a little bit. It's like, it's not like you missed it by that much. No, you missed it by that much. Like, way, way, way wide.
Did I get the week correct?
In theory.
That's a win.
Great. Fantastic. Well, nonetheless, Monday Live. It is the longest running episodic, whatever the hell this is. I don't know. I just don't know. But it is a Monday. So there you go. We've got that going for us. And it looks like the people, I guess, on the Monday get very active because we have a lot of comments. So hold on. I'm going to get caught up on the comments
All
here
right.
right away. Zach says, this is just a scheme for more like button money. You see right through my clever ruse, Zach. Right through my clever ruse. Everything is a scheme for more like button money. Always. And remember to hit the like button because Eric pays for it. And on Mondays, when it was supposed to be a Friday, but it's not a Friday because of what Eric has done, we're increasing the fines. They're only getting higher. The sky's the limit. Carla, good evening. I was afraid that I missed last Friday while I was on the beach. You might want to try to reschedule for me on Monday. Sorry you had to go through all this trouble. Eric. That right there. Good evening, Carlisle. Joshua says, it's Monday night. And you know what that means. Because I'm Carlos Live, it felt weird to type. I know. It's messed with all of us now. Saddle fan, good evening. I missed last Friday, so I'm already lost. We're all lost. We're all a little lost. This Home Run Derby intro is weird. Back. Eric fell. Players look like they feel very awkward. Yes.
Can you imagine
Champ
if
says
I
first.
hit a baseball as hard as I could? What do you think would happen if I went into the batting cage and I'm like, I'm going to hit this ball as hard as I possibly can? What do you think the result of that would be?
Can you re-break a replace hip?
Well, I think I'd probably break that one, dislocate the other one, twist my spine like a corkscrew, and I think I'd die.
Probably. Sounds about right. Yeah.
I think I'd die. Pretty sure.
Paul here says, so is Adam Cole, speaking of concussions. Too soon? Well, listen. Eric already forgot about him.
I don't know.
So Adam Cole is a wrestler in AEW, and at the big show that they had on Saturday, he actually had to come out and vacate the championship that he was going to defend on the show itself. It was going to be a 1-on-1 match. They ended up turning it into a fatal 4-way with 4 other wrestlers. The word is that it was a concussion issue because he just wrestled earlier in the week. So it looks like, and he had some concussion issues prior. So it looks like this most recent concussion issue was very serious because he had literally wrestled a couple of days prior. It didn't look like he had any trouble, but then apparently he wasn't able to be medically cleared. Well, if they're not medically clearing you for a concussion, when you only wrestled days earlier, it means that concussions tend to accumulate. You stack them on top of each other, and then they can get progressively worse. So they were concerned with whatever symptoms he was showing that they didn't want to let him go out there.
Do you think my best friend Mick Foley, do you think he's ever had a concussion?
Well, I think your best friend Mick Foley has already died. His body just hasn't caught up yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a zombie Ray Borg situation.
He's lost a lot of weight. He's looking good.
Hey. Just 1455. Give the video a like. Appreciate you. I think it's Friday in London. They're like an entirely different time zone. Facts. Jeff, good evening. Home Run Derby intro is beyond obnoxious. They too tend to get worse with the intro. That's why, to me, like I talked about this during when we talk about hockey games, football games. I don't care what it is. I don't want national anthems. I'm tired of the unnecessary pregame stuff. I don't care. That's why whenever I have gone to a game, I'm literally in the concession stands grabbing a snack or a drink while all that stuff's going on. Like, guys, I don't care. Just kick the ball off, drop the puck, do whatever it is, start the first pitch, get on with it. Whatever the time says on the ticket, I want the game to begin at that time.
Right. Yeah.
That's all. That's all I ask. You take 3 hours for pregame ceremonies if you want, but at the time that it says on the ticket, you should already be underway. Start.
Yeah, I'm paying for the game, not your nonsense. I hear you.
Yeah. Eric has all the parallels of concussions. Facts.
I got the gold, I got the rainbow, the pink, and the serial numbered 1 of 1. Yeah.
It's all true. It is all true. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as long as they get on with it, I'm good. But as soon as they start adding in all that extra stuff, it's like, no thanks, man. No thanks. But yes, it's like all the previews for a movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
It's fair.
kind of like that.
The thing is, though, previews in a movie, that's standard. And I generally speaking, a lot depends on your theater. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them will actually start a little early so that they can get close to the show time. And then they're basically giving you a little buffer to finish getting your popcorn or whatever. And then they get out of the way. Some of the smart ones, they'll start a couple minutes early with the previews so that by the time you're walking in, the previews are almost done. You're getting close to the start time. And then the previews are almost done too.
Here's something that will shock you. You ready to be shocked?
You haven't seen a movie before?
I haven't seen a movie in years, but
Since since they went to talkies?
they talk now?
Yep.
Man, what will that Charlie Chaplin think of next?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like popcorn. My wife loves popcorn, and she thinks I am completely insane because
I know you're completely insane.
I just don't like it.
Look, Eric, hold on. We're less than 7 minutes into this. Fucking popcorn. Are you serious?
I don't like popcorn. Gets all up in your teeth, gets stuck in your gums. You get that one kernel that sneaks in there and cracks your tooth. No, I don't like it. And then if you either have I've never had just the right amount of butter. It's either no butter and it's dry. It's like eating sand, and or they soak it and it starts just it deforming, right? Because it's waterlogged, and then your hands are covered in this stuff for a month and a half. I don't like it.
Yeah. That was the thing.
I don't like it.
Sandro says Eric almost broke Carlos there. Listen, I wasn't ready for popcorn. I just wasn't ready. That we were just underway. I'm just drinking my caffeinated beverage, and we're just trying to get going here. And he threw that one at me.
Nope.
Eric needs to use mayo instead of the liquid butter. That might work.
All right, don't be gross.
Just saying. I don't know what to tell you. Good Lord. Unbelievable.
Gross.
Unbelievable.
Gross.
Well, look, like I said, we're going to operate. It's going to be kind of a middle between. Brandon is actually en route. So when he shows up, we'll actually do the silly card segment. This isn't going to be a podcast episode. This is actually going to be a continuation. It's numbered as 248 in the Hobby Talk Live. It's a special Monday edition because on Friday, we're going to be doing the Hobby Palooza business. So we got that going on. That's on the Four Collectors channel. Links will be in the description to the one. We already have the placeholder. So the placeholder is there. It is for charity. So you're more than welcome. You can still actually donate ahead of time if you want. So they can try to break their record. I think they did 5,800 plus last year. So, getting closer to probably 6,000 would be the goal and above. So we'll see what happens. Just a fraction of Eric's like button money could change lives. A fraction of a fraction. Think about it. That's it. I'll include a link in the description to all that so you can check it out. And then the other thing is that for us, it'll be 10 p.m. start time on the Four Collectors channel. So that will be there. Let's see here. Good evening, Orlando. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Mike. Said the entries still count for the prizes for early donating. So I don't know if that's a statement or a question. If it's a question, I don't know. I would assume so, given that they have like the names. I would think so, but I'm not. But that one I can't answer. I don't know. Orlando, I don't know if you know the answer to that one or if that's a statement. Maybe it is a statement. Oh, it looks like he's saying it's a statement. Oh, they do. Great. Well, there you go. If you donate early, you can still be part of the draws because they are giving away some prizes. So you can actually donate ahead of time and still be eligible for the draw. So that's a good thing. That's solid. Very nice. So yeah, we'll see. We'll be participating in that. It'll be 10 p.m. on the Friday. So instead of the normal 8 p.m. start time, it'll be on that channel and it'll be 10 p.m. And I've already told Eric, basically, as soon as we log off here, he's going to go into a hyperbaric chamber and begin napping. And the best part about this was that Dan's Vintage Baseball had the Burrell on. Actually, speaking of, what I'll do is I'll link in the description to that too if you want to watch the Burrell speaking with him about Maple Crispette. But here's the funny part about this. Towards the tail end. Yeah, towards the tail end, if you check it out, they do make reference to it. And Eric, I was getting a little bit of a sense. I got to be honest. I was beginning to interpret it as a bit of a challenge.
A challenge?
A challenge. They're sitting there, they're discussing, like, we'll go as long as Carlos wants to go. And it's like, Eric, people keep saying this to me. And it's like they're goading me on.
I don't want to goat you on.
It's not my, Eric, I am sitting here being but a humble man of peace.
I'm thinking,
and they're sitting there going like,
listen, I'm thinking surprise everybody. We'll shock them. We'll do 45 minutes and call it a night.
Yeah. 5 hours and 45 minutes, huh?
Oh, come on. I don't want to do that.
Till the wee hours of the morning. Oh. You know what the funny thing is? If I had any control over the because obviously I will be able to control the StreamYard, but I won't be able to see what the donations are. If I could see the donations thing, what I would do is I'd be like, all right, if you donate X amount, we'll tack on another half an hour. And I would just keep adding time. And I'd be like, Eric, and as Eric continues his whining, I'd be like, it's for charity, Eric. Eric, during the July the 4th, you tried to do your whole pitch about being American. This is signature for soldiers, American soldiers. A real patriot, Eric, would want to help the soldiers.
I do want to help the soldiers.
Then it sounds to me like you need to suck it up, Buttercup. If you need to mainline all the Red Bull, you can be like your good friend Brad, mainline the Red Bull directly into your veins. Do what you got to do. Because it's easy for me.
I'm taking
walk in the park.
I'm taking a long nap.
Going to equal the total runtime of all the other shows combined. Listen, it happens. Go for the marathon. Define a marathon. Yeah, 7 hours. Once Carlos, I was there. It was nearly 7.5. 7.5 is my record. That is not the longest. There was an 8.5-hour live stream once that was done on Dakota's Sports Card Anonymous channel for one of his anniversary dates when he was still doing the live streams. But on that one, historical note, I was there for the last 3 hours of that. So I was involved in the two longest sports cards related live stream that I'm aware of. 7.5 here and then 8.5 over there. Those are the two longest that I know of.
I don't want to break any records. I'm good.
Shatter the records. Destroy the records. Kick them in the face.
No, I'm too old.
Sadler said, do it like a subathon, like streamers do. I know, that's what I'm saying. Kathy can pinch hit for Eric. At least Kathy would complain less.
And everyone likes her more.
True. Hobby Champ says, I don't know if I can handle 3+ hours of Eric sleeping on camera. Don't worry. We got an entire family there that would electroshock him. I'd be like, Michelle, this is your moment to shine. Open the box that Ham sent you. Pulls it out.
It's probably true. So
just saying.
She'd do it. I don't care. I don't doubt it. She's looking for a reason.
Just looking for any reason. Billy Joe, good evening. Yes. So we got that going for us. I will say, kind of a fun little side note. I was watching, actually, funny, last night. The World Series of Poker is now down to the final table. They are down to the final 9.
How long does this thing last?
It's like day 8.
Jesus.
They started with 9,700, Eric. It takes that. The main event of the World Series of Poker is structured to give the players a chance to play. Well, they can still be reckless and be nuts, but it is a freeze out. You can't buy back in, so you only get one shot. Once you get eliminated, you bounce. That's it for this year. You can play in other events. So the World Series of Poker is actually a whole series of events. It's a whole ton of them. But the main event is like the granddaddy of them all. But on that one, it's a freeze out. So you lose your chips, you're done. That's it for the year. You don't get to try for the main event until again next year. And it's a $10 million first prize, and everybody in the final table is going to get at least $1 million. So they're down to the final table of 9. They actually had 10. They got it to 10, and they created that final table. But one person was on the bubble just outside of the official final table, which is the top 9. So they're basically taking today off, and they will reconvene tomorrow to try to get it down, I think, to 3 or 2, and then basically have the final to crown a champion.
And the champion gets $10 million.
$10 million.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Yeah. Well, listen, Eric, if you could have a chance to win $10 million, you're telling me you can't put in 10 days work for $10 million bucks?
No, I don't think I can.
I think you can.
I worked 3 hours today, and I came home and took a nap.
Yeah, but that was for $3.85 and a half-eaten Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
Just saying, $10 million would buy you a lot of Tootsie Rolls.
It's true.
Yeah, just saying. Think about it. And on top of everything else, 2 things. So the reason I bring it up is twofold. Obviously, I was watching it. I do enjoy Me the Poker. But a couple of reasons I mentioned. One of them, they have made recent history because in the modern era, basically anything from the 90s. There you go. Kathy, we're watching. If I have to, I'll step in. See? Ready to go.
Tag team.
There you go. Part of the reason, though, that was interesting is that anything post Moneymaker is kind of your modern era. So we're going to say 2003 is considered, because prior to that, the World Series of Poker, even the main event, would only have like 200 or 300 participants. Obviously, that's still something. You win in that tournament, but it's different between that and 9,700 plus, nearly 10,000 participants, and you're
Right.
the winner. So you have to be very fortunate. That's why it takes so damn long. That's the reason why you have to eliminate 9,700 other people. So and you actually start off with 60,000 in chips, and each level where they increase the basically the small blind and the big blind, it's every 2 hours that the levels increase. And they increase very slowly. The idea is to allow the good players to not be forced to play their hands too soon. The World Poker Tour, which was the one that was on TV and the Travel Channel and all that for all those years, they play an accelerated format where the levels would go faster. That forces people eventually, if you're not getting good hands, eventually you have to just play cards. You just have to throw in all your chips. Well, with this other one, the idea is to let the good players, if you're not getting hands for a couple hours, you don't have to necessarily play hands you don't want to play. So that's good for good players, but it also means the format is going to take longer because it doesn't force people into action. They can afford to just throw away hands until they see something they like. So it takes a long time to eliminate 9,700 people that way. So that's the reason why it's considered that world championship. But the other thing is that for the first time since 1995, there is a woman at the final table. A lady has qualified. She is there, and she's kind of a middle stack. She's third or fourth in chips. So right now she's in good position to get a chance. She'll make at least $1 million, and with the possibility of making more. She's actually a pro who's played out of, I want to say, Portugal. So good for her. That's a big one. $1 million payday anyway, no matter what happens. Even if she busts out immediately, $1 million payday. Pretty good. Oh, and the other thing was one of those Razor poker cards that I'd bought. Michael Mizrachi, I told you about that guy, the grinder. That was the card that was the one that I had one of the autographs that I bought for it. He is at the final table. Oh, he's one of the more named guys. So he actually managed to avoid 9,700 other train wrecks, and he's got himself to the final table. He's playing well. Jeff's Card Journey, good evening. Is the World Series of Poker on TV? I don't think so. I think they just do it streaming. I think it's just Poker Go now. Although they maybe are doing something else. I'm not sure. Oh, the home run derby's finally starting. Nice. After all the pomp and circumstance, finally got it going.
Oh, it's 23 minutes in, and I just want to say, shut up, Josh. Thank you.
There you go. I like it. Just taking a quick look. Now, curious if has anybody been having any luck lately finding anything interesting? I wanted to kind of add a little bit to what I was talking about the CSC show. I did my pickup video, and I talked about the CSC show. I did pick up Vintage. I did get the T206 Toronto player.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a good looking card. I like it.
There is. So yeah, I love how it says Toronto across the chest. Yeah, it looks good. Good color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 5 total players in that checklist. One of them is a Hall of Famer. And basically, if you wanted to do like a mini collection, I'm thinking about maybe just doing the 5, just getting a set of the 5, picking some nice ones. And then, just have that as kind of a thing because it is literally the Toronto team that they had back then. has gotten lucky. But yeah, Mike, the grinder there. Not saying he's a bad player. He made some dumb moves or anything, but he's got some fortunate river cards. You're going to need, so if Paul, in order to get to the final table at the World Series with those many train wrecks, you're going to have to get lucky a couple of times. If you're going to get to the final table, you have to basically win a couple of hands you probably shouldn't win. And that's going to be, I think for all those players that happened at least once. Amanda, what did I miss? Eric's latest, Amanda, seriously. Eric's latest revelation. Eric apparently has a problem with popcorn.
I don't like popcorn, Amanda.
Of all the things, of the list of things that is growing longer by the day.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Unbelievable. Watched some Chantilly videos and such, and it makes me think that Natty will have more value bins than I first thought. It'll be worth going through. Nice. Bob Jackson, good evening. What a weirdo. I know.
You're not the first one to say that.
Facts. Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, good evening. Did you scare off Brandon by making him do Friday also? No, he is on commute. He is en route.
Mm-hmm.
He did let us know in advance that he would be a little tardy for class today. So,
and just let everybody know, today is his birthday.
It is. Today is officially the birthday of the Baubles.
So he's 172 years old today.
He doesn't look a day older than 247.
Yep.
Not a day.
Looking good.
Bob Jackson says, What do you like besides chocolate sticks and brain damage? This is a valid question. These are two of the things you're most passionate about.
I'm passionate about one of them. I just happen
The brain damage, given the amount that you have.
listen, I'm passionate about chocolate sticks. I'm a connoisseur of brain damage. I'm not really a fan of it. I just happen to collect a lot of it.
Indeed.
Hey,
so do you want to answer the question? Besides those two things, what else do you like?
I rode Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and didn't crash once. So I had a good week.
I don't tell you. Josh, you said
did some dumb stuff on Sunday morning.
You could change that out for any day that ends in Y, and we could say that.
I went across this bridge that's 12 feet up in the air. Like trees, the top of the trees are coming up past the bridge. People thought that was a little silly. That why would I ride my bike across this bridge that's, you know, just flat. There's no rails. And it's about, I don't know, yay wide. And it's between rock and rock, and it's 12 feet up in the air.
Get back to us when you're ready to cross Springfield Gorge. Josh here says, I've been refreshing ComC hourly trying to pick up some 2024 AEW lure. It appears slightly broken compared to the 2022 version. I think it's that, Josh. And also, I actually think they spread out the hits even more so. Even in the boxes that I've opened, physical boxes, I'm finding there's just not a lot in there. I felt like in 2022, there was more good cards getting pulled out of these boxes. I feel like you could open cases and just get okay. I think I'm finding it's a lot tougher. And I think that's unfortunately just going to be the way it's going to be. And I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm looking to see, we'll see if ComC, but right now I'm not seeing people cracking open a ton. There's not a lot of incentive. It's not cheap. And the stuff that you're getting out of it is, a lot of the prices have dropped on it. It's just not as worthwhile, and it's expensive relatively to that. Balls says, is it just white foods? Does he not like bread? Does he hate vanilla ice cream? He hates everything.
I do hate everything, but I don't hate bread and vanilla ice cream as much as other things.
Bob Jackson says you didn't crash once. Was it twice, 3 times? Thrice times.
Not that I remember.
It's the concussions. Hobby Champ says you can leave mayonnaise out of the refrigerator for a pretty long time before it goes bad. It's true.
Oh, no. Come on now. I had some regurgitation on Friday during a segment. Let's not.
If you need to get yourself a bucket, get yourself a bucket. Robert says questions for Eric. I like that. I like that it just says the questions for Eric, and that's all it says. I said there's a follow-up. We'll see. Real quick. So I was going to finish the story about the CSC show. So I go to the CSC show, and part of what I was talking about was I did pick up that one card. That's not completely true. I did pick up a second card. And Eric, listen. Mm-hmm. I know over time we developed this reputation that we do not do nice things for you. And the truth is, we do. It's just few and far between relative to the amount of horribleness. Yeah. But the truth is, there are some nice things done. And Eric, I purchased 2 items. I only shared one of them in that video because I needed to take the time in this format to share with you the only other thing that I picked up at the CSC card show.
Mm-hmm. I can only imagine.
And that is
Bobby Orr, Chicago Blackhawks.
No, I did think about that. That was an option on the table, but that is not what I got.
Okay.
No, Eric, I know that you're a big connoisseur of the autographs. And I thought to myself, what an opportunity to get you a wonderful autograph of the greatest living Boston Bruin.
No.
And future Hall of Famer, Jumbo Joe Thornton.
Jesus Christ.
On a beehive, no less. So the card can be extra big. Look at it.
I know I'm going to get stuck dealing with him, and I'm going to have to be nice to him in November.
And he's even got the bear uniform, like the cartoon bear with the yellow jersey. Oh my goodness!
I hope.
And this is like an early Joe. This is like an early Joe Thornton. Look at that. Chef's kiss. Wow.
I hope you didn't pay a lot of money for that.
Oh no! And not only that, I got a discount on top of it because I told him that I was buying this for an idiot Boston Bruins fan that I love to torment. And the guys were like, oh, I love that story. Yeah, I'll give you the discount. Excellent. You'd be pleased to know even rando dealers who don't know you are willing to offer the discounts as soon as I explain I am buying it for a fool.
Oh.
Amazing. See? Phil's got it right here. I stand corrected. I always thought the boys ripped on Eric. Look at the love Carlos is giving you, Eric. I know. This ungrateful swine. That is a wonderful, Eric, thoughtful gift. A wonderful, thoughtful gift.
If I have to work with him in November, I'm going to shave his beard.
I think you should fight him. That is a wonderful, thoughtful gift, and you are ungrateful swine. Ungrateful swine.
Well, that's true too, but
yes, absolutely. That's a decent auto, actually. I know.
I'm gonna have a electric trimmer in my back pocket, and when he's sitting down signing autographs, I'm gonna come up behind him and just go zoop zoop and go clean yourself up.
Bob Jackson says the discount was they paid Carlos to take it.
Yeah,
this can be both profitable and horrible at the same time.
Yeah.
Brandon, if you're good, give me a thumbs up. All right, he's getting himself ready. He's getting himself ready. What's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Did you see the gift I got Eric? The ungrateful swine that he is? Look at it.
Nice. No, I didn't. I literally just walked in the house.
So Brandon, at the CSC show, I bought two things. I got a piece of vintage. I got a Toronto T206.
Nice.
And I only bought one other thing. The only other thing I bought in the entire show, and I'll explain part of why. But the point is, the show was a bit of a bust for me. And I went on my birthday. That was on my birthday day, by the way. Happy birthday. Officially the Bobble's birthday today.
Yes.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Hold on, Brandon. The least we can do here for you. Hold on.
Yep, come on.
There we go. Let it not be said. But the only other item that I picked up was this of the greatest living Boston Bruin, Jumbo Joe Thornton. And when I told the dealers that it was for a moron who likes the Boston Bruins that I torment, they said, discount you can have, sir. Done.
Can't be free.
If it was free, he paid too much.
Greatest living. Listen, I understand that we don't think much of the Boston Bruins, but for the greatest living Boston Bruins and Hall of Famer, Eric, and Hall of Famer. Outrageous.
Life isn't fair.
Good friend you are, Carlos. Eric is a bit more appreciated. Come on. Like, I know. Be a bit more appreciative. Yeah. I know.
Hockey Card Gong Show was giving Phil a hard time. I saw they had an impersonator on with a fake mustache, yelling and screaming. They were busting on him the other day. So he and I are in the same boat, and it's sinking.
We would never get an impersonator for you, Eric. AI probably, but not an impersonator. Then he's going to throw you in the trash can, and you come out like John Moxley and say, great back. Clean yourself up. I know.
Clean yourself up.
Yep. Bob Jackson said, we toot the horn for each year, Bubbles, but we don't have to be here for 12 hours. True.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right?
I know.
Well, I wouldn't play with them anymore, Phil. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Phil says, it's my love language. We'll just row the boat faster, Eric. Well, if Eric rows any boats any faster, it's going to break a hip. Again.
Yeah.
We all claimed that Thornton was the greatest hockey player ever, and he's right.
Oh, that's not nice to say.
True. It is what it is, Eric. I don't know what to say. Like I said, greatest living Boston Bruin, and you're welcome, you ungrateful swine. Unbelievable. Brandon, the lack of appreciation from Eric, it's incredible. We do all these nice things for him.
Yeah.
And when does he actually show some appreciation? You know?
You get me the best gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, I battled the stormy weather and the stupidity of me thinking that it was a good idea to go. So I went I was probably about 12 miles south of DC is where I went today. So survived, made it, got what I went for.
That's cool.
I haven't even actually went through all of it, but for anyone that might be interested, I thought this was cool as hell. It is sealed.
Yeah, you got looks like it's got a good wrap on it, actually.
Yeah, it has the hang tab sealed. Like I normally am not one to go for like original and then like unless it's good games or something. Especially at the price. They wanted $175. It said 12 games, but I didn't know that all of this was coming with it.
Oh, you got a bunch of manuals with it? Nice.
Yeah, a ton of manuals, which these are
Some of
oddly
the
enough
manuals
worth a
actually
lot of
sell.
money too.
Yeah,
So
some of the manuals sell. So Eric, for context, so that is NES Golf, obviously, but the reason it's significant is because it's one of the black box game, which is
Yep.
part of the first series. So when Nintendo came out, the black box series were the first games. Super Mario Brothers, golf. I think baseball was one of the black box
10-yard
games.
fight.
Yeah, there are a handful of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Excite Bike.
yeah. So to get a black box game sealed actually is kind of a big. It doesn't really matter which one of the titles is because there's some
Yeah.
people who specifically collect the black box games. I showed a comp on the Discord. We were looking at it. It was just the seal without the video game grading or anything like that. It was like $600.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's why when I seen that, like normally if it was just the open box, complete box, I wouldn't have even been interested. But when I looked, I was like, there's shrink there. But sometimes people would just cut the shrink like they do on vinyl and keep it on there. So I messaged the person. I was like, by the way, by chance, is that golf still sealed? And they messaged back and they were like, yeah, it's unopened. And I was like, oh, any chance I can pick it up tomorrow? So
It's a seal that gives it that extra because there are some hardcore militant collectors that will pay the premium for that. If it was just a regular, but if it was just a regular one that had been opened, yeah, it's somebody would still maybe have interest in it, but it would be a couple of bucks. It wouldn't be like crazy compared to a sealed.
I appreciate you explaining it to me sincerely because, and I kid you not, this is honest to God truth. Back in the 80s, I had the Atari 2600 with the Pac-Man and the Donkey Kongs and the Froggers, okay, and the asteroids and all that fun stuff. Okay, so I had all that. Then I stopped playing video games, and it's like I left the earth. I had no concept of anything that was going on. I knew people who had video games. I'd hear things. I had no interest in it, and I did not see another video game played in front of me until I bought my daughter an Xbox, a green and black Xbox for Christmas when she was, younger. So I went from the Atari 2600 to an Xbox. And let me tell you, it's like I went to Mars that entire time, had no concept of anything video game related, came back and said, okay, let's play some video games. Do you know how shocked I was to see what new video games look like compared to the Atari 2600 in 1983? Yeah, I was impressed. I gotta say, I was impressed.
You can just imagine Brandon. He's sitting there going like, "You have multiple buttons on this controller."
I can't play. Well, I can't play because all I know is joystick and thumb button.
That's just a manual in space. Imagine video games.
This will make you not feel so bad, Eric, because this was made in 1985.
Okay.
So it's not too far out of your realm.
All right.
He just missed out on the black box golf. Yep.
Yeah, Atari 2600. That's what I had, and then I completely left video game world until 2010.
Hobby Champ says, "Did you see that video of that ex-NHLer beating up that guy on the golf course, yelling bang every time he punched him?" I did hear about this.
It was awesome.
But why only bang? Why can't we do the full Adam West thing? What about some booms and pows?
No, he just kept yelling bang. It was awesome. And the guy really, the hockey player really didn't want to fight. He tossed the guy the first time when he got attacked. And he's like, enough, stop. And this guy came at him again. And he came in on him and he grabbed him by the shirt, just like in a hockey fight. And just started punching him in the face and yelling bang every time he hit him. The guy falls to the ground. The guy gets up again and he's like, enough, I stop it. And he comes at him again and he grabs him and uses his momentum and hurls him. This is a full grown man. He's in the air flying. He got hurled, tossed aside, and he's flying through the air, lands, spins around, gets up, comes back for more, and this time his buddy jumps in and stops it because he just got the Evan living shit kicked out of him. And he was just a drunk golfer, and he's come out and apologized and said, I had way too much to drink that day, and I apologize to everybody. And I give the guy some credit for manning up and apologizing for his asinine behavior, but adults shouldn't behave that way. I don't care how much you had to drink. It's just ridiculous. You're not 20 years old and in college. You're an actual adult. And he got the shit kicked out of him, and it was awesome.
Wow.
Bang!
I'm still kind of curious about the bang thing. The sound effects is the part I'm kind of curious about. Like,
every time the fist hit the guy's face, the hockey player yelled bang.
that's the part I'm questioning. That's the part I'm not getting.
Bang!
He's
Bang!
a comic book fan.
Bang!
I was gonna say, but that's why I say, like, where's the pows and the zowies?
Oh,
Yeah, he was a big
awesome.
Batman fan, and he loved the bang.
Yeah,
I guess so. I guess so. Paul here says, good evening all, and Eric. Good evening, Paul. Stuke, good evening to you. Sadler says, it's funny because the era Eric missed is considered by the best video game era by most people. Yes. There was a lot right from Nintendo onward. There was a really good run
Never
of a bunch of generations.
Never played it. My closest friends didn't have it, so I wasn't at their house every day playing it. Man, we were outside playing. I was riding bikes, playing soccer, running around, doing all sorts of other stuff. And video games just weren't.
Now, Eric, if you were riding a bike, though, given what we know about your bike riding exploits, is there a possibility that you were concussed for the majority of the late 1980s through the 1990s, and it turns out that you were once a finalist in the Nintendo World Championships and completely do not remember any of that?
It's possible.
Just saying.
We didn't wear helmets.
You remember The Wizard? You remember that movie, The Wizard? It wasn't very good, but you remember that one? And it was like basically a commercial for Super Mario 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the big... Go ahead.
Today marks a few historic moments because at 10 years old on today's date, which would have been, y'all can figure it up, video games probably didn't even exist, but in my mind at 10 years old on today's date was the first time I ever beat Super Mario Brothers, the original. And also, as I've shared many times, and y'all can Google, search, and fact check me, today makes 29 years since Shaquille O'Neal broke my heart and got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Sorry.
On your birthday, no less. Scandalous.
Yeah. My 16th.
Wow.
Actually, just for the shits and giggles, how about that? I even have it sitting on my desk as a reminder
of how miserable you were.
Well, that'll be in stark contrast, Eric, to the most prized possession of your collection soon.
Oh, good Jesus.
So wonderful. Incredible.
We have so much of his stuff because I guess before I started working at the shop, the shop had him in, and he signed a ton of stuff, and so we have a bunch of his stuff kicking around. Never one time did I ever think, hey, I don't have any Joe Thornton in my collection. Maybe I should pick something up at work and bring it home. Nope, not one time.
I got you, Eric. Don't worry. I got you.
Nope. I'm lousy with the stuff. I got to move it out of my way all the time because nobody comes in and asks for it.
Because, Eric, and we already know this, the Bostonians have self-hatred and they hate greatness. They tried to drive Bill Russell out of town. They're like, get out.
That was different.
Yeah. It remains the same. Problem's still the same.
That was a handful of people who were just evil. We don't like Joe Thornton because he's Joe Thornton.
Just like as Brandon, the self-hatred is just incredible. It's unbelievable. Bob Jackson says, this implies that you were thinking at work, Eric. I know. Eric is spinning quite the yarn.
Listen, I will admit, I don't like to agree with Bob, but I will admit that there there are times at work where I catch myself thinking and I immediately stop because I don't like it.
Yeah, cease and desist there. Amanda says Carlos is mean. This plays directly against my well-known, hard-earned sterling reputation as a man of peace. Scandalous, Amanda. Scandalous. Scandalous. Get back to me on the 10th anniversary of the 2024 Upper Deck AEW that you received from Upper Deck when you open it on the 10th anniversary. Get back to me. Until then, I will hear none of it. Dylan here. Good evening. I got here. What are we talking about? Outbidding our friends when they share what the cards are going to buy? I do want to talk about that. We're going to get to that in a moment. Somebody's got to steer the ship. I know. Exactly. Got to keep Eric in line.
Phil,
This man hates popcorn. Brandon, today we learned that amongst the 1,018 things Eric hates, popcorn.
I don't like popcorn.
Brandon, my glasses came off. I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. Brandon, hold
Serious
on.
question, Eric. We have only found one thing known to the show
Yeah.
that you ever eat.
Well, I eat lots of things. It's just, I just really like chocolate sticks.
That would be the only thing that probably outside of your mom. No, wait. I'm going to recant that. Two things.
Recant that. Two things.
Miss Kathy's cookies
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah.
and chocolate sticks.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we ever hear about.
Right.
Any
Why-
other thing that anybody ever talks about eating, you're like, I've never had that. I wouldn't eat that. That sounds disgusting. I'm going to puke. Like everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think I ride, 2,000 plus miles a year on my bike? Because if I didn't, I'd weigh 600 pounds. Because I eat cookies and chocolate sticks.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Head
Real quick.
injuries could adjust your effect of taste and smell.
There's a lot of things going on, Brandon.
That might be why you don't like a lot of foods.
There are levels to this. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna read a couple comments and get caught up, but then we're gonna circle back around at this on a different date. But there's a lot to unpack here. I need some time to think about this. Hobby Champ says they prefer Hal Gill.
Now we do.
Carlos is also a smartass. True.
There he is.
Mangina's here. No popcorn balls. True.
No popcorn balls.
I'm half surprised he doesn't say popcorn.
Yes, I do, unfortunately.
Eric Pokies? Question mark.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. There's a question mark, so I pose it in the form of a question. Not a huge fan of popcorn, but in uni I was addicted to smart food. Fair. I hear you.
I don't eat either.
Jeff says, I get not liking mayo, but not liking popcorn is just crazy. This man is nuts. He's crazy. All right,
Jeff.
real quick.
Jeff,
He's giving
Jeff,
us ideas, though.
Jeff, don't turn on me tonight now.
Mayo-coated popcorn.
That was actually pitched.
Shut
as a
up.
replacement for butter. All right, so Dylan was here. So let me talk about this for a moment. So this, let me explain the context. So this is actually just a live stream. It's not a podcast episode. We'll be back to the regular podcast episode next week. Although I have an idea, I may just do a quick standalone episode for this week, so you still get it, and we will still get Silly Card of the Week. We will still get that in a little bit.
I haven't
so I've
got one, so I apologize.
All right, then you are off this week. But Eric and I have one, and I when I share mine with Eric, I think he will appreciate it almost as much as the greatest living Boston Brewing, Joe Thornton.
Oh, Christ.
Ooh.
Almost as much. That's why I wasn't going to allow him to taint a perfectly good, because I've got a legitimate silly card of the week that fits in the ethos. of
Was
the
it
silly card of the
Lewis?
week.
We had a silly card. I'm sorry. That's the
No,
silly-
that's not a silly card. That's not how that works.
that's the-
Was it Lewis Taint, though?
No, it's not. But the point is, Eric was trying to circumvent. So I'm going to share with everybody. Eric was trying to circumvent what the silly card of the week is. Let me
That's a
explain the
political
rules,
statement.
because Eric doesn't understand what it is. The silly card of the week is actually supposed to be a silly card. Having an autograph of somebody you don't like is not a silly card. Somebody paying a lot of money for it is silly, but the card itself is not silly because this has already happened.
I disagree.
You are wrong. That it's a completely, Brandon, I made an executive decision that it defies the actual point of the silly card of the week. Because then we could just say, oh, this is an autograph card of this person. This is an autograph card of Bobby Orr. That's a silly card of the week. Who would want that garbage? I know. But that's not a silly card.
Fair.
Stop. It's not fair. Stop it.
Totally fair.
It-
That doesn't count. It's not the same
Fair.
thing. That's what I'm saying. Now, real quick, let me finish reading here. Pokey's chocolate sticks. Ah, thank you for clarifying, Dylan. All right, that's a specific type of chocolate stick. Now we got you. What the hell is a chocolate stick? Don't ask. Please don't ask. But if you want to see what a chocolate stick looks like, go to a dog park. What the owners are picking up is what Eric puts in his mouth.
I can't argue with that. Actually, that's a pretty decent
Yep.
description.
I'm just so the best part is out of all the things that Eric doesn't like, the one thing he does like, you can literally find at a dog park, and he sticks that in his mouth with glee.
Yeah, it's a donut. It's a donut, but it's in stick shape instead of round with a hole in it.
Which is to say, it's not a donut. It's a pastry of questionable visage. We'll say that. Do you eat avocados, Eric?
No, that's gross.
See? Everything. All right. Back to the question. Here we go. All right. So this is what so Dylan brought this up. All right. Let me explain. So let me give context now. All right. So Garrett, card cutter, made a video where he was talking about the idea of bidding against friends on cards. The concept was this, and I think I can link to the video if you guys want, because that way it's in there. But obviously you guys, a couple of you folks in the chat already know about this. So Garrett apparently saw a lot of different autograph cards, I guess, including some Hall of Famers. So I'm just doing this super high level. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to get the video. But the concept, you'll get the concept, and then we can talk about the topic itself. So what happened was he shared it with Mike Baseball Collector. Now I'm saying this because he included the information in the video, so I'm not telling anything out of turn. It's literally the information that's included in the video. So he shared that information with them. And somewhere along the way, I'm going to take it based on the way Garrett explains it, is that he was conveyed that he was interested in bidding on some of these. Well, apparently Mike Baseball Collector bid on some of them and won some of them, but he wouldn't have known about them had Garrett not mentioned them. So this is the old kind of catch-22 situation when it comes to the what is appropriate, how to, again, if somebody talks to you about this, maybe it's something you're interested in, but you didn't know about it because they brought it to your attention, and they basically establish that their plan is to bid on it. It is kind of bad form to then bid on said item. In effect, kind of bidding each other up, or in some cases, winning the item. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I don't like it.
Yeah. So obviously, a lot of people in the comments, and so let me do something important. I want to make sure we've got all the caveats done. Mike Baseball Collector has had a lot of different scenarios and situations where he's gotten on people's bad side in terms of things he said and things he's done. He's had many YouTube faux pas. Let me put it that way. YouTube faux pas that have been frowned upon by different folks in the establishment. I'm going to separate him specifically from the scenario rather than just talk about the topic itself. Let's just do it that way. That way it's the fairest way we can do it. Because I'm not going to worry about what people think about Mike directly, because that's not fair to the conversation. Let's focus on the topic, though. A friend of yours. So what is your kind of take on this? A friend of yours shows something like, hey, I see this thing, I'm going to be bidding on it or whatever. They let you know in varying terms that they're going to be bidding on it.
Right.
My opinion is at that point, since you didn't know about it prior, it's kind of bad form to get in there, unless, I will make a caveat, unless you say, hey, I would really love that one specific lot. I'm really interested in it. And maybe the two of you talk it out beforehand and say, okay, how about I bid on that one specific lot, and then you go after the other ones. Best of luck to you, whatever. I think the good form, the best practice, as soon as you've opened the communication lines. So, and I'll just say this for me. I never run into this problem for two reasons. One is because I, generally speaking, most of my hobby friends don't collect the same stuff I do. Right. So the odds of us accidentally bidding on the same item is very low. But even if it wasn't, I would not tell people what I'm intending to bid on ahead of time. I would kind of just do it. Even when we do the podcast, sometimes I say, I'm keeping an eye on something. I'm going to see what happens. Like I've said that phrase in that way.
Yeah. But again, and you should continue to do that. Yeah. When you're on a live podcast or whatever the hell this crap is, and you have all these different people in the chat, if you told me during the pre-show that you were bidding on a Gretzky card, that's you automatically assume that as the show goes on, I'm not going to be doing this and putting bids in it to outbid you. That is bad form, as they say.
Yeah. I think Bob Jackson's got it right here. Violation of the hobby buddy code. Yeah, that's a good way of phrasing it. That's a good way of phrasing it.
Bobby and I have, I can kind of think of a couple of scenarios similar. Bobby and I both collect vintage hockey, right? Bobby is definitely a role model, mentor, whatever you want to call it, someone I look up to in the vintage hockey category. And there's been times where I've said, hey, look what I'm interested in. He's done the same, or we give each other heads up on things. And at no point in time when I'm sharing information with him do I worry he's going to jump on it and get it before me, and vice versa? I mean, are you friends with someone, or are you not friends with someone? Because it doesn't matter if it's card collecting or anything. If you are buddies, you're not gonna take the food off someone else's plate. That's not cool, man. That's bad form. So I don't get the whole scenario. I didn't watch or listen to or read whatever the hell you did, but that's just bad form. That's unacceptable. If you did that to me or Brandon, I'd really be shocked that a buddy did that. Right? We're gonna pretend that we're friends for a second because we all know that.
Brandon, I don't want him to know that's why the lemon M&Ms cost as much as they did. Tell no one.
Sure, right? So we'll pretend that we're friends. First of all, my feelings would be hurt. I'd be shocked that I got stabbed in the back by one of you guys, because I would never think it would ever happen.
Yeah, stabbing in the front is legit, but not in the back. That's wrong.
And then you know something? I'd be done. I'd be like, F you, I'm done. Because whether it's cards or anything else, if you are friends with someone, there's a level of trust and stuff that has to be there to be friends, and you broke that. Therefore, we're not friends anymore. So I'm done. I wouldn't be on the show anymore, or I'd say, Carlos, listen, you and I are cool, but I'm not working with him anymore. So if you two want to keep doing this on Mondays, great, but I'm out.
Why is it my fault?
Oh, you know what you did, you son of a bitch.
And on his birthday, you accuse him of this. This is the audacity. Brandon,
you know what you did.
I'm going to get your take on this. Let me read the comments real quick, and then but I want to get your take on this. But so again, you understand the concept. I'm separating the specific man from this example, because what's going to happen in a lot of cases, and it happened in the comment section, a lot of people will take their dislike for Mike Baseball Collector and then use that as an excuse to pick. And like I said, and I've had Mike on here before. There have been different situations. I don't agree with him on what he said or what he did in different scenarios. But the thing is, he's been on here, and he's more than welcome to come by anytime he asks to come on. He's more than welcome to say his piece anytime. So I'm separating the man from the scenario. I want to talk about the scenario because I think that's a more fair conversation. So we're separating that. But I will include a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. So let me read these real quick. Dylan says a no-brainer. Hobby Chap says dirty. What if that one ashtray shows up that you need though, Eric? Yep. Phil says a good litmus test of character. Yes. Eric would never bid on my PLD cards. I can tell him anything I'm chasing. Best hobby buddy. Wow. Kind words for Eric.
True.
Scandalous.
Well, she's right about that. I would never bid on those. She is correct.
Yep. Hobby Champ says, unless there's more to the story, it shows a lack of character. Unfortunately, there is no more to the story. Like, it's pretty surface level. So it's one of those situations where, like, again, I'll just reiterate, and then I want Brandon to take his turn at this. So thank you all for the comments. For me, it's really simple. For this scenario would never come up because I will only share stuff with people that are not collecting the same thing as me. So that shouldn't be an issue. Or I don't share it with anybody at all, because for me, if I'm chasing after something, I consider, that's why I say it's similar, but I want to make sure I separate the two things. For me, I'm going to bid on anything I want, unless we have a discussion prior where there's kind of an arrangement where it's like, okay, look, this is something that you've been chasing at for the longest time, whatever, fine. That's why I try to avoid the conversation entirely, because there are not too many people that I know that collect the same stuff. I know a few of the Medano guys. We do not converse ahead of time. I want to be in competition. So the reality is I'm completely okay. I don't know what they're bidding on, and I don't know what they're going to bid on it. I have no idea. I don't ask them. Because I don't ask them, Brandon, I can bid whatever the hell I want on whatever the hell I want. But down the road, we can talk about stuff. We can be like, maybe we can offer trades or do whatever. So I don't close the door on having discussions like that. But when it comes to items that come up on the marketplace, I don't hear anything from them. They don't hear anything from me. May the best person win. You bid whatever you want. But as soon as you open the door, or if you share it with me, and then I say, okay, I'm going to bid on it, and then you bid on it, that's kind of a violation of hobby bro code, basically. I'm borrowing Bob Jackson's idea here. I think as soon as you've opened the lines of communication and now you know the other person is bidding on it or potentially bidding on it, I think it's bad form to go after that. So that's just my take on that. So go ahead, Brandon. I'm going to leave it open for you.
So without knowing like the full deep details of it, from just the angle that I'm hearing, if these two were close enough as hobby friends that one shared with the other, items they found, or if it was a lot, I'm assuming it was multiple items since there was multiple bids or bidding. That showed that that the one sharing assumed friendship because they talked enough to be able to share this.
Yeah.
If the party it was shared with had interest in a couple of the items, the appropriate, I guess is the term I would use, or proper way I would think to go about it is be like, hey, are you going to be bidding on X, Y, and Z? I kind of like those. If you are, no biggie, I'll leave them alone. But if you're not in play, I would like to, I'd like to make a run on them. Common courtesy. They've already shared these items with you, and maybe they're not going after all of them. So I actually just had this Saturday. I mean, I've shared, y'all all know pretty much what I collect. And as a Nationals fan, I have a buddy, a hobby friend, Ryan. He also has been buying some Dylan Cruz and James Wood Nationals rookies. And he knows that I've been kind of holding off on James Wood because of his prices and kind of, evaluating things. And there was a 2025 vintage stock that was on auction. I believe it was ending Saturday. And he messaged me and he was like, hey, are you making a play on that? I was thinking of going, and he told me what he was thinking about bidding it to. And he was like, I'm not going to go any higher than that, but were you thinking about bidding on it? If you want to go after it, I'll leave it alone. Common courtesy, knowing that I might potentially have it on my watch list or be interested in it. I told him that I expected it to go between 170 and $200, which I think it landed at like 176. So neither one of us, were really interested at that price. But that was just a good example because, a lot of people know who and what I collect. So there's going to be times if somebody else might be interested in something and they're, consider we have a friendship, they'll reach out and be like, or even Carlos, you're witness to this with me, you and Wes all being Stars fans, and not, I know your main is Medano, but there's other things at times that come up. And, Lapper or somebody might share a card they found that's posted and, tag some of us. Like he tagged me and Wes in a Wyatt Johnston EX. And
tag.
I did. But I conceded it to Wes, to let him know, hey, I'm not in play on this. That's just, I guess, as the term used earlier, that's just hobby bro code. Don't be a dick.
Right.
We're all friends here, and just I don't know. Like I said, this isn't.
If they're not your friend, all fair's in love and war, right? You overhear.
But if they're not your friend, you're not sharing it anyway.
Right. No, you overhear something at a card show, all fair's in love and war. But your buddy says, hey, look what I'm bidding on. And you go, hey, that's great.
Or what's your opinion? Like people will reach out to somebody and try to get an opinion. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what would you say this is worth? And then if they're going to go behind you and bid, then you kind of got a question like, are we really friends or whatever, So
yeah, but that's kind of I agree with a lot of what you're saying. That's the reason why I'm just being practical about this. Just as someone who I've talked about this before, kind of when speaking more player collector thing. There was a time when I knew a lot of the Medano collectors. I still know a fair number of them, but I used to know a whole bunch of them that we were competing regularly.
Yeah.
We were in communication, but we weren't like super close friends. But the thing is, like what I found was the best way of just avoiding the issue entirely was I didn't like to collude. Maybe this would be the way to put it. I didn't go out of my way to ever collude. If there was ever a scenario where maybe somebody who was a collector decided they were going to disperse the collection and suddenly a lot of big pieces became available all at once, then there might be a scenario where there could be like, hey, look, there's a bunch of really nice ones. We could all literally bid each other up here. Or we could be like, which ones do you really, really like? And that might be the time where, this could be the situation where you're like, okay, look, I really have my heart set on this one and this one. I might be interested in. It's very rare because, like I said, I generally will leave that be. I'm not interested in putting myself in that situation. But if you are obviously close enough that you are sharing that information and some of your collecting stuff actually does overlap, then the communication becomes even more important. Now it becomes you better be crystal clear. I'm going after this or whatever the case may be. Or like I said, if you're the first one to see it and you're planning on bidding on it, maybe you shouldn't be sharing that thing is on there. If you've got somebody that your collecting stuff actually overlaps, because then you're kind of opening yourself up to it. What value is there to saying it before you've bought it or before you've made the bid on it?
Well, if
That's
it's
kind of
your-
a question I would.
No, because if it's your buddy, you're sharing. That's sharing the hobby. Hey, look what I'm bidding
Yeah.
on. I don't have a problem with that. I'd have no problem telling either you two or Bobby or Yannick or even that Brad bum up in Halifax, hey, check this out. I'm really excited about this. Look what I found on eBay. I'm going for this. I wouldn't think for a second any of you would be like, oh, yeah, look at that. Why wouldn't I share that with you? I wouldn't think twice than putting it on the text thread and go, look what I'm going after. I wouldn't think twice. And that's part of the fun. And you guys would be cheering me on. Hey, good luck. How's it going? I'm watching it too. It's got 3 days
Here's
left.
the jar of mayo.
Go screw. That's part of the fun with your buddies. And to have that taken away and have the rug pulled out from underneath you and having that fun and the connection and everything taken, that's just poor form. I just keep saying you say that. It's just poor form.
So you see now, Eric, why I've always pumped Jason Robertson. Because if I get it to a point where everybody thinks he's pumped, then nobody's going to want to bid on him, right?
Oh,
see? 4D chess there.
Wow, look at the man with his strategery.
Strategery.
All his strategery.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. I'll answer Paul's question here. I did see it. I just want to make sure I gave everybody a chance to speak on it. So real quick. And by the way, folks, if you've got so many thoughts, feel free to share them. I know some folks already shared in the chat, so feel free to share though. Like I said, I still thought it was a worthwhile topic. So I thought, yeah, we could definitely talk about it. Like I said, I'm separating the specific individuals from it because in the comment sections, people didn't separate the individuals from it. It made for good entertainment for a person who likes to read the comment section. It really did, but not many pieces. Not in a lot of cases.
Really?
Not so much. Yeah, shockingly. But a lot of that is when you put yourself out there in that position over and over again in different scenarios, then sometimes people are going to use any excuse to kind of take out their agenda out on you. But again, brought it on himself. But in this case, my overall takeaway is kind of what we talked about. I think the communication is important. As soon as you offer something like that, you should almost be ready for somebody else to bid on it. If you have an agreement or an arrangement, I would make sure you're clear on that. That's the communication piece. Like, hey, we both collect this stuff. Maybe we divide, our attentions in a couple directions, and then everybody can have a shot at what they might want. And maybe that's the approach. But then, yeah, as soon as you kind of circumvent that, though, if somebody tells you the thing, it is on you to say, hey, I would really like to bid on this one and this one and this one. And thank you for showing me, but I really want to bid on this one. Would you be all right with? Can we come to some kind of an agreement or something that maybe would make sense or whatever?
Here's another scenario, too, that why the communication and the friendship and everything can be important. Because what if it was all in a single lot? Then you could,
and then maybe you guys make an arrangement to divide.
Like, hey, what I want these. Are you interested? I know you might need these. What are you comfortable with us going up to? Do you want me to bid on it? Do you want to bid on it? And then we'll split the cost because then you can divide out. And each person gets what they needed. So, that this scenario sounds like it was individual listings, but there are times when you might know somebody that y'all might be able to go half and half on something and help each other out if it's a lot of stuff. So, that the communication is the key factor and the trust. You got to have the trust, I guess.
For sure. All right, let me quickly answer Paul's question, then I'll come back because there's a couple more good comments I want to touch on. So I'd have to look back, Paul, the last 90s one. It's been a little while since a lot of the 90s one had come up, especially for Smashing Ben. I've won some auctions. This would be the last one, though. It wasn't 90s. It was early 2000s. This is the last one that I came across. So this was the winning. I showed this one a while back. This was the winning materials from the early 2000s. This was the gold version, numbered to 15. And the reason why This one, as soon as I saw it, immediate smash the bin, is it was $20.
Ooh, yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, please. Thank you. Have a
Was
good
it
day.
dollar shipping?
Yeah. It was like, so that one, you don't tell anybody, you hit the buy it now and you move on with your day. So that was the last one that was like a buy it now that I specifically went on it. So Bob here said, I wouldn't bid Eric up. I may just tell him to go wrench though. Facts. Orlando says, don't tell anyone what you're bidding on, which I think is a good policy. Just kind of keep it to yourself until you win it. After you win it, share with everybody in creation, but like leave it to yourself.
I don't know. Again, I don't want to keep repeating around the same.
I think it's a little different though, Eric, when you're, like I said, when you're collecting stuff doesn't align necessarily. Like, for all the jokes aside from bidding you up in the lemon M&M cards, like, which we all do. Bobby's the worst of this. Like, literally, they would have all been available to you for like less than $1 if Bobby hadn't bid them up.
Sure.
But outside of that, no, like, there's very little overlap aside from, of course, appreciation of the greatest living Buster Brown of all time.
That's horse shit. Get it out of the camera.
Can I be honest?
As opposed to being fake? Go on.
I prefer that you
No, well, I collect some like players that I don't expect to have a lot of people collecting them, especially with Michael Taylor and Victor Robles. Victor Robles more so than Michael Taylor. But when I have stuff on my watch list of Taylor and I see it sell, I oftentimes wonder, who in the hell bought that? Like, who else out there is collecting him that would have bought that? So there are questions. Is it somebody just screwing with me because they know I probably would have bought it? But, you know, there's those questions at times. If they want to waste their money or whatever, go for it.
Yeah. Dylan says, nailed it, Carlos. And then Robert's got a good question here. He says, what if your buddy tells you he's bidding on something, but you've already seen it and decided to bid before your buddy said anything? So that's where if you are actually collecting stuff that overlaps, that's where it can get a little bit tricky. That comes down to the communication thing, though. Like, in all honesty, that's true. I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning, just so we're all on the same page here. My opinion is auctions are auctions. They're bidding. Like, I'm willing to pay X, maybe you're willing to pay Y. That's why, for the most part, I'm very content. I basically will share stuff after it's done. That's generally speaking when I share a lot of the stuff, because I'm not interested in messing about. Because if the bidding is still ongoing, I haven't won the thing either. So, like, why mess with something until it's complete? When it's complete, we can figure out the rest. That's why I kind of leave it be. Unless I'm sharing it for somebody else's purposes so they can have a shot at it if they want. But then in that case, then I'm not touching it. If I'm sharing it with you, then I'm probably sharing it for your sake, not for mine. I'm not going to share something that is mid-flight that I'm interested in bidding on, because that would be counterproductive. But again, everybody's got to operate this differently. Eric gave a couple of examples, and he operates it differently. But again, we're not overlapping. We're not going to be going in there bidding on a bunch of that stuff because it's not interesting for us. And hopefully he wins his stuff. But it's different if you wind up in this scenario, because now all of a sudden you're looking at something where both of you clearly are interested. Somebody brings up that they're bidding on something that you've seen and have maybe on your watch list. So now you got to kind of have a discussion. I think you honestly, at that point, you need to have a conversation. Say, hey, look, I had that on my watch list. My plan was to bid on it. Then the question you can ask is, okay, how rare is the thing? Because if it's something that comes up all the time, well, then who cares? One of you take a shot at it, see if you can win it, and then the other person can chase after the next one. If it's like a 1 of 1 or something, though, then it gets a little complex, because now only one of you can have it. So now how do you want to approach that? But it's back to communication. You got to have a conversation and decide.
As long as you're open and honest, there's no problem there. So
yeah, exactly.
If you're a true adult, okay, and people are being open and honest about it and say, yeah, oh man, it's funny you bring that up, because I've been watching it for the last 3 days, and you know how much I like player X, and he's my PC, and so, and then you guys talk it out. I don't see why two adults can't, work something out and be cool with it. Because, for example, here we go. So, I collect Reggie. Carlos decides he wants to collect Reggie too. But Reggie in my collection is a 10 for me, and it's like a 5 for him. He might go, well, listen, this is way more important for you. Go enjoy, go nuts. I'll catch the next one. So you may have that connection where that one person in one party finds this to be much more important than the next person, and you guys can work that out, But if you're both at 10 and at least if you're both being honest, best man wins, and you're happy for your buddy if they get it and you don't. You rather have
alternatively to the death in Thunderdome.
Well, yeah,
but that's when extended bidding is going to get fun. Bring it on.
That's right. Zach says, I trash talk Eric, but low key bid up Josh Rosen's. Listen, I hope you enjoy.
Nice.
I hope you enjoy the $400 flawless shield. Eric, I want to know who won it. I want to know. And Eric, I am prepared for that. I am prepared for that person. I am prepared to offer them right now. Eric, this is a bounty for the $400 shield card that was done, the flawless shield. I am prepared to offer $150.
I think you're overpaying, but that's fine.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Eric,
yeah.
I shall spare no expense.
Yeah, clearly.
$150.
Clearly.
Let's go. Done.
I still think that's a set collector that needs it for the set and is willing.
I want it to be Brandon's option. I want it to be a repacker who puts it in a repack and somebody pulls it and opens it like, oh!
Speaking of repacks.
And I hear them from space, Eric. And I hear them from space.
Yeah. I came across a Run Good Life video where he opened 5. He bought them off of some store's website, Shields or something. I guess it's a West Coast store or something. I don't know.
Okay.
He paid $120 a piece, and I think the most there was no PSA 10s in any of it.
Okay.
And the most expensive card was probably $30 or $40, if that.
Sure.
It was awful.
Yeah, the repacks, a lot of there are some repacks that legitimately are, the value on some of this. Again, we're talking about book value, quote unquote, can be close to what it is. Like, look, we've watched plenty of boxes where you spend $200 on the box and you get 10 cents worth of cards. Like, there's plenty of those. So, and a lot more of those, to be honest, in a lot of cases. But there's a lot of repacks that have absolute junk in them, and nobody's going to be interested in that junk. Like, it doesn't matter what you inflate the price to be. So that's what's kind of curious. Zach here says, I never know what Mike video is going to get people's attention. I didn't expect to hear people talking about this. So it was funny because I was actually having I will leave the names out to protect the innocent and the guilty. But I was having kind of a quick side text message thread. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about it. Just saying. It's too good. I refuse to leave a good topic from the content gods, Brandon, untouched. How dare we? We cannot. The audacity to have that kind of arrogance. Mike says, Brandon, are you afraid to get your whiskers caught on the keyboard when you're typing in a bid? This could be an issue.
I only bid on my phone for that reason.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
Valid. And Mike also had earlier here, I said, Carlos, did I hear it was your birthday? So my birthday was on Saturday. Brandon's birthday is today. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I don't know how our mothers did that close together. Whew. No wonder July is so hot.
Well, then also we had Bobby the previous week.
Yeah,
Bobby previous week. Yep.
And
Wes is there. Wes is there in the middle of it. One of my longest term buddies from university. Also July. It's a lot of damn July kids all over the place. Scandalous. Dan here says, it didn't get that much attention until Garrett's response video. But Garrett's response video, Dan, is what made it perfect, because then we got Garrett's side of it, and now we can talk about it. It opened it up beautifully. Because as soon as I know who's involved in this, now it gets more fun. I've been bidding up on hockey Ashtrays just on the chance Eric might need one. Valid.
Dan, you're starting to piss me off, okay?
Valid.
You're starting to piss me off. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Bob Jackson says, I saw 2 baubles, complete crap. Yep. Amanda says, happy birthday. You too, Dan. I love to bid on hockey Ashtrays. Valid.
Oh,
Valid.
Great. Another one to the party. That's great.
Just as happy birthday, Brandon. There you go. Appreciate the birthday love for everybody.
One more. I have them all. You can bid on all of them except for the California Golden Seals one. That one's coming home to Daddy at some point. I got the rest of them.
That's going home to Mike Ham?
That's a good.
Well, coming from you, that's who I assumed you were talking about. I don't know who else you were referring to.
Yeah, let's not talk about my personal life.
Okay, just Brandon. Listen, I have to clarify these things. We have to make sure we've got clarification on.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what's the issues that's going on in my home. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Wade. And I got your friend request, and I made sure to accept it. So for all of those, yes, she gave me the finger wag. Yes, Eric said that I got in trouble by her, but we are now Facebook official, and she just told me happy birthday.
Wow.
She didn't tell me that. This is the first I'm hearing about it. That's hysterical.
We're learning so much tonight. We're
Oh,
learning
that's
so much.
hysterical.
And it says I have 2 hockey ashtrays. There you go.
You do, but those are different than mine. Still
Bobby
cool.
Jackson.
Still cool. Very nice ones, but they're different than mine.
Mm-hmm. Bob Jackson says California Golden Seals. I love the seals.
Yeah. Bob's now is cashing in his 401k and switching stocks around. He wants to make sure he's going to go all in on this thing, hunt it down, hire an investigator, anything to beat me. Yeah.
We're about to find out, Eric, how much those kidneys are worth.
Yeah, right.
We're about to find out. What
Yeah.
cost is too great, Eric? What cost is too great indeed? But yes. I don't tell you everything. Thanks for the friend.
Oh, it's too much.
Wait, Brandon is Eric's new dad? Everybody's Eric's new dad.
Oh, Christ.
Happy birthday, Brandon. Yep. The world is doing a good enough job of beating you for me, Eric. It's true.
Oh.
It is true.
So, Eric, out of curiosity, what is this? Just in case I happen to find one out and about, it's probably unlikely, but in case,
Yeah.
what would be the price I should look for?
Go on.
It's the rarest of the set. Bobby himself says he's only seen one, and it's going to be several $100s. Somebody could probably even ask over 1,000, and somebody might bite.
So if I find one for a quarter, you're saying it could potentially have $1,000 value?
It's extremely rare. So somebody might be dumb enough to spend a ludicrous amount of money, go ludicrous speed on it. But
I'll keep my eyes
definitely
open.
several hundred. I would be dumb enough to spend many hundreds on it.
Then I'll keep my eyes open and help help you proceed to rule number 1.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Oh, I would spend some dumbass money on it, but I wouldn't spend $1,000 on it. I'd say nope, don't need it that bad.
You say that now. Dan says Bob Jackson, comment of the night. So far. Mike Good says, I just got the California Golden Seals off eBay for $20. I have my go-go cigar sitting in it now.
Oh, Messias, somebody does.
100%.
Somebody
Okay.
does. Somebody is sitting in somewhere just tapping their cigar in the thing.
So
another serious question. What if it was to be found and it had like a chip or something like that? Are you still interested?
At this point, for that one, I if it was in 2 pieces, I'd want it.
Okay. It's a long shot, especially being on the East Coast and everything, but you never know.
I'll send you a picture of one. It's in Bobby's book, I think, somewhere.
Oh, do you want me to send you the picture from the one that Bobby uses for his cigar?
Shut up.
just asking. Amanda says I'm going to start hitting garage sales out here and looking. Yep. Eric, you know what would make you feel better? Hold on. I bet we can probably at least.
Nothing's gonna make me feel better.
So
I don't make you feel better.
I'm a miserable bastard. Oh, gross.
Paul here was nice enough to provide us a nice bowl.
I was about to say, I got a photo sent by him a second ago. I assume that's what it is because he's a jerk.
Possibly. Listen, it's a popcorn bowl of the Chicago Blackhawks, the team of Bobby Orr.
No, popcorn doesn't disgust me like the other thing.
I think the Chicago Blackhawks bowl was just an extra chef's kiss.
I mean, I'm not scared of popcorn as I am
yet.
I just don't like it. I like the way it smells. I think it smells nice.
Dan here says the only person dumb enough to pay $1,000 for an ashtray is someone dumb enough to collect ashtrays in the first place. Facts.
So
that's not nice.
Dan, there are a lot of people that collect ashtrays, and on Terapeak, I just was curious. There are 5 that have not just sold for $1,000, but 4,000 and up. The highest being $9,500.
What kind of ashtrays are they?
Various ones.
What makes them so special?
Well, one is from I guess this doesn't count, but it's the middle console for a 1969 Shelby Mustang. The other one is Saint Dupont Tournaire Apocalypse ashtray. That's the one that sold for $9,500. Sounds fancy.
I was gonna say it sounds awfully bougie.
So, it sounds bougie.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know too much about that one, but you got me there.
A lot
Sounds
of them
made
from
up,
Nevada
yeah.
sell for a lot.
It sounds like you went into ChatGPT and give me sequence of words. Here you go. The Burrell joins us. Happy cake and wish day, Brandon. Nice.
Thanks, Bobby.
Dan here says I should have been specific to 70s hockey ashtrays. There you go. Hobby Chap says, which is made of gold? Question mark. Maybe it is. Who knows? Sounds extra fancy, like I said. So you know what's funny? I actually kind of a separate side conversation. And again, if there's anything you guys want to chat about, we're gonna hang out for a couple hours tonight. It won't be too crazy. It won't be as long as the usual, but we'll hang out for a bit. Since it is more of an open-ended. And in a couple of minutes, we'll do the silly card of the week. We'll do a silly card of the week in a couple of minutes. What I was gonna say was, so obviously Slab Sharks is one of the ones that I always have a little bit of fun with. Obviously the Gong Show guys have the Slab Sharks auctions and everything. And they're known for collecting a lot of the hockey cards because that's what a lot of folks, submit around these parts to do all that. Although they do have the U.S. correspondence now, so maybe they'll have more of a mix going forward. Believe it or not, my last Slab Sharks auction win, I won a couple of things from Slab Sharks. Eric, the last thing I won from Slab Sharks was a wrestling card.
A wrestling card?
Yeah, they actually had one listed on there from the Upper Deck Black Diamond, the AEW Black Diamond thing. And I was sitting there like I ended up making what I thought was a mega bid, and I did win. But I was like, holy shit, you guys made a pretty strong offer on it. I ended up winning it. I'll share it once it comes in hand. It'll probably be maybe this week, early next week, but it'll be on the wrestling channel. We'll talk about that. But that'll be definitely.
I haven't gotten anything from Slab Sharks in a while, but I haven't bought much lately. But
they gotta have stuff I want. Like I want some Medano stuff from them.
I have.
It's been good. I've definitely found some stuff, but it's rare. Like they've got a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff that it doesn't interest me. That's where I'm at. It's like it's got to be something I want, and if it is, cool. But a lot of times it's like, no, that's neat, but not for me. Bob Jackson says, Chateau, oui, Ashtray, 11 billion. True. Bobby says, not ice cream cake though. Bobby's against that ice cream cake.
I love
some
ice cream cake. I
know. Zach says, I don't like teasing Eric about popcorn as much as I do mayo. Just think it's going to catch on. Maybe.
So I was searching for the ashtray. Eric, there was a metal Golden Seals ashtray that sold December of 2024 for $10.50. So you missed that one.
Oh, boy.
And there's a glass
Golden
Seals ashtray right now for $129 with 19 watchers.
No, that's not the one. So,
well, not with that attitude, Eric. Kathy says, Bobby, when you come visit someday, I'm getting you an ice cream cake. Dan says, Eric, reading a picture book. Words are hard. They are indeed.
Words are hard.
So Dan, since we got you in the chat, I got a question. I was having a little bit of fun earlier. We were talking about, obviously, the Hobby Palooza thing. We mentioned that. I will leave a link in the description for folks to check this out on replay. So all that info will be included there. I was joking with them, but obviously with the 4 collectors are going to let me have control to turn off the live whenever we're going to do it. But I did catch the tail end. I did catch the episode with you and the Burrell talking about the Maple Crispette. I already mentioned it earlier tonight. But then towards the end, it sounded vaguely like a challenge. And Eric is all about these challenges. He was like, we're going to show them.
No, sir.
No time is too great.
All the time is too great.
But I'm just saying, like Brandon, I gotta be honest. Like I every time I listen to some of these folks, I keep feeling like I'm being challenged. I feel like they're testing me. They're being like, oh, let's see. Can we goad them into it? I'm being goaded. So I don't know. Just saying. But I'll leave like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to the discussion that Dan has with the Burrell on it if you folks want to check it out. But I did sense that. It kind of felt that way. Mike says, when Carlos goes off the air Saturday morning, it'll be just in time for Eric to be on Hobby Hotline. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be amazing. Incredible. I think everyone would love it. Let's see here. Hockey cards are awesome. It's the only segment of the hobby where you can buy a rookie Skybox Rubies out of 50 of a guy who scored 4 goals to clinch the cup for $40 2 weeks later. That is true. Oddly specific, but it is true. These ashtrays are Malamine, unbreakable as advertised, but they chip. There you go.
That's like the old Anchor Hockey used to use that stuff. It's like a real hardened plastic type material.
Yeah, I just sent you guys a picture of the one I need. So that's what you're looking for, Brandon, when you're out and about.
All right. If I find it, I will be sure to tell the owner that they got it priced way too low and to contact you.
Okay,
Right.
fair enough.
Yeah. Dan says you can do it until 3 a.m. Eastern. Eric snoring is great content. Listen, if Eric is snoring at 3 a.m., we got a problem. Because like I mentioned in a previous episode, we talked about this. And it was only a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago. I was sitting there. I was on a Friday morning. I got up and I was at work. I was still under my contract position that I was doing. That was my last day working in that contract, but I was there. And then sometimes in the evening, I'm working on some stuff. I'm watching some stuff. I've got my wide screen here. I can be watching something, working on something. And sometimes I'll get into binge watching something and the hours go by. And what happens, I don't know if this is just me a thing, Eric. If I'm up late enough or / early enough, at a certain point, I'm not going to bother to go to bed. Because at that point, there's no point. And I was still up and it was like 7 a.m. and I'm like, and this was on Saturday. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to bed at this point. So I stayed up all the way through to midnight. So I was basically up 2 days and used to do it all the time. And let me tell you, by the time I was done, I wasn't even that tired when I went to bed. So it's really not that hard. 3 a.m., child's play. Child's play.
I'm older than you. I need sleep.
You are quite old. That is the thing for you. Yes, that is true. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Dan and Bobby, I enjoyed the show on Dan's channel. Nice, nice. Appsters are only privy to rare pictures, Eric.
All right,
Ooh, the Appsters. The Appsters.
Send them back. Send that picture back, guys. Bobby says you can't look at it.
Oh, okay. I'll delete it.
All right.
Delete it, Bobby.
Amanda says, Carlos is mean because he refuses to sleep. Yes, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. Let's go with that. Uh-huh. I could have done this on 20 hours sleep. There is no amount that would change anything. It's wonderful. You've seen it now. May as well show it. Eric, any favorite under the radar Patriots players? Eric is a big Tom Brady guy.
Yeah, right.
Here we go. Eric just needs to paint his eyeballs on his glasses and prop his head up. Yes.
I may have to.
Eric isn't allowed to sleep every time he gets a concussion. That is true.
God. There's been a few times where when I was younger that my parents would have to come in and wake me up every hour to make sure I was alive. Yeah.
Did they confirm you were alive? Because again, we've been told before.
The doctors told them you have to go in every hour and wake him up and make sure he's still with you. So yeah, I put my parents through a little bit here and there.
I see. Mike here says, I think everyone in Carlos' show had better get a nap on Friday afternoon. I warned people. I gave them warnings. They've been warned. Back to sunglasses, Eric. That's right. No, seriously, I hear your business is attending the Natty, and I may or may not drop off a refractor of said player if I have one. Any favorite Boston Patriots players? This referring to Sports World. Sports World got a booth at the National?
Not as of right now that I know of. There's no plan to be there. We had someone there last year attending it. I don't remember. I don't think we had a table. I think they were just attending it. but I don't know of any plan of doing that this year. But things change. You know, I work with some younger people that all of a sudden say, "I'm going to go," and it's all last minute rush, and then they're out the door. So,
Mhm.
what was the Boston Patriot players?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say probably the big ones, probably like Gino Cappelletti. He's probably one of the more famous original Patriots, the guys that were there in the '60s,
Mm.
and then he became an announcer for the team and stuff. So, yeah, probably Gino.
There you go. Micah says, "Hey Eric, on a serious side, I take it your vision and eyes have cleared up well." Well, Eric still sees visions, but they are not related necessarily to
I'm doing
what's
much
going on
better. I'm
previously.
in like in the 90% healed up. My eyes still burn a little bit. I've had to adjust the brightness on the computer a couple of times because I feel like my eyes are burning. So if I look at blue light for too long, my eyes will start to burn. But
Mhm.
but all in all, I'm doing much better. Thank you.
There you go. Mike asking the proper question, Bobby. Is it cake or is it ice cream? It's greatness is what it is. Zach says, pulled one all-nighter in college, talking to friends, just having a great time after so late in the night. You're not even just tired anymore. You just start the next day. I have that all the time. And even my adult life, it's really not that hard. But I'm a night owl, so I'm up late anyway.
Yeah,
Ham
well, you
says,
do that when you're 20.
yeah, well, I do it. Well, Eric, I did it when I was 20. I did it when I was 30. I did it when I was 42. Didn't
I'm
seem
not doing it.
it has changed. In fact, I'm probably better at it now than I was back then, to be honest.
I'm not doing it at 51. No way.
Ham says, did you already talk about the UD Superman cards that are horrible? I did not.
That would be Amanda's.
I'm not too concerned about the UD Superman cards, but
That
sure.
would be Amanda's department.
Yes, I leave it. I defer to her
As
wisdom on this
our
matter.
non-sports correspondent, take up that with her.
Well, I have speaking of horrible cards, okay? I know
Mhm.
Dustin, and we've had this discussion, and other people have probably seen them with the Topps Chrome and the Disney and the character autos and stuff. I'm going to share something here if it'll let me. Share screen.
Sure. While you're doing that, I'll finish reading here. My good says, I pulled all-nighters in college and wrote my history paper and got it 20 minutes before the grades were due. I was doing a lot of the history papers back then. I wrote them in the evening. I usually had enough time to go get a bite to eat and then I hand in the paper. Mike, they will provide the
It
ice cream
won't let
cake, which
me.
I will top my regular cake I will bring. Maybe.
I'll eat it with you, buddy.
So it won't let me share my screen, but
Okay.
I wanted to ask this question because I know Eric wanted to share the Gary V thing, and that's been talked about with with his autograph or whatever. And to each their own. It's a legitimate, or he actually signed it and he's a human.
Well, but
But I
Eric
was
though is trying to get us off the scent because I know he's the buyer of it.
probably,
So
Yeah.
he's lying to us is what he's doing. But go ahead,
but
ask your question.
I know I was watching somebody, one of the resellers that's doing cards now and stuff. He was doing a box break the other day
Yep.
of this new Harry Potter Cosmos set released by that Kakawau company, which they make really nice looking cards. But then I started looking at them because my wife likes Harry Potter, and I was looking at all the cards that were in there and like, what were they going for in that? There's autographs that are not autographs. They're basically like the Disney ones, where instead of having the actors' autos or whatever, it's like Harry Potter
Yeah.
or George Weasley. And it's like made to appear as an autograph, but it's just printed. What freaking direction, and why are people spending so much money on these pretend autos? Especially in that scenario where it's actual actors that play the characters.
Well, it's with a lot of times I'm sure that a lot of those actors charge a lot for some of that stuff because some of them don't want to do it. I know there's been some series in the past where they weren't able to get autographs from some of the people because they just didn't want to do it. And they were like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not interested in signing any cards regardless. And they would be like, but we'd like to offer you. We don't care. That's always been kind of a challenge with some of those sets. The actors themselves don't want to sign anything.
Yeah, I just people are paying $200 a box for these things, and there's relics in them that are worse than the Panini stuff because it's like not associated to anything. It's just a piece of cloth with like a color or whatever on it from the what do they call it, house or whatever, and then the printed autographs, and I'm just like, what the hell? What are we doing? Like, where are we heading right now? Because if people will spend money on this, then we really can't bitch about some of the other stuff. Like,
that was part of the reason why I went. That's kind of part of the reason why I rejected it, is going against the ethos. Just because somebody spent a lot of money on it, I can't count that. Like, that to me, it defeats the point of the silly card. Is it would be silly whether it was autographed, whether it wasn't autographed. It would be silly if it was this person or somebody else.
It's kind of silly because it's a base card.
Yeah, but it's because you're so reliant on the individual pictured on the card. To me, that actually is not the silly card of the week. I would rather have the silly card of the week be some rando we've never heard of, because then to me that's more legit. That's why I say like that. That's why in the discussion we had about the whole etiquette of bidding on something when somebody tells you about it. That's why I separated Mike Baseball Collector from the part of the conversation. We weren't focused on Mike Baseball Collector. We were focused on the topic, because some people are already going to have feelings about him one way or the other. And if we include him as part of the discussion, then those feelings become part of the discussion instead of the actual
it's the scenario. But they were the,
they were. We have an example.
The topic up. Yeah,
we have an example, but that's why I separated the people from it, and I said I want to talk about the scenario, and then we can have a discussion. It actually makes it easier to have the discussion because then you're not worried about the extra part of it. That's the reason why. To Carlos and Brandon, was it a good trade that Dallas made with Pittsburgh? So I have been keeping tabs on the. Is there like a name for it, Eric? In baseball, it's the hot stove league, but in hockey, is there like a name for it? I don't really think there's a name for like the trading happening.
No,
it just kind of happens.
Yeah. There's not really anything like that. No.
Yeah, I'd have to look into specifics, Mike. I really don't know which specific deal you're looking at.
I think I seen it the other day posted.
Yeah. So real quick, I just wanted to share this while I had it in the other tab here. So Eric, this is what I was referring a little earlier, and like I said, I'll include a link in the description to it, but I do want to share it briefly. And Eric, I want your interpretation. Tell me if this sounds like a challenge to you. This is what I want to know.
Challenge?
A challenge. All right, so here we go. We got it right here on Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. So right here towards the tail end, okay? And here it is with the Burrell. All right, so we're going to listen to it for a second, and then I want your interpretation of this.
And I know, Bobby, you will be on Friday night with Carlos.
Yep.
On the show that will go as long as you want to go.
As long as Carlos wants to go, yes, I think we will go that far. Yeah, it'll be into the early morning, for sure.
We have given Carlos the keys to the car, so you guys are going to be out, joyriding.
Driving off the cliff, yes. It'll be midnight and beyond, for sure. But we like to hang out and talk. The hobby's a great place to have friends, and it's fun to talk shop. And if you have a lot to talk about, a lot of experience, even if you don't, it's just fun chatting and keeping the hobby a healthy part of your life away from stress of other things. It's a nice something to fall back on.
I like to participate because I think the show is hilarious, and it's really a great balance because you're like the older voice of reason. Eric is like also a little bit older, but sort of he has the thing back and forth with Carlos, and Carlos is a very bright, well-spoken man who has opinions, so it's a nice little little wraparound there. So anyway, hobby.
All I heard was off the cliff, Eric.
All I heard is that he called me old.
You are though.
I am.
Look,
Eric,
shocking is maybe
because I get called ancient, so fuck off.
Well, Brandon, like, also not wrong, but in fairness, to be fair. Wow, that was like an extra good one for your birthday, Brandon. That's not bad. Not bad.
He had a new octave.
Yeah, like there was levels to that. That was no auto-tune on that, by the way. No auto-tune. That was pretty good.
We need to get him that.
We need to get some auto-tune. The point is, though, shockingly enough, even on Brandon's birthday, Eric is somehow the oldest person here.
Yeah, I am.
Shocking. Truly shocking. Stu says, saw Bobby on Dan's show. His hair is perfect. It was placed. It was coiffed.
It was a good coif. That was some good coif right there.
Mm-hmm. Ham says, I hear a wraparound. Listen, I warned everybody. Ham knows. Everybody else knows. You know what you have to do. You all have your homework. You still got time. If you haven't already figured out the 4 or 5 items, you have time to figure all that out. And you have between now and then to be in your hyperbaric chamber. You have load up all the Red Bulls intravenously into your veins. Do what you got to do.
I need that.
So, real quick, I think this needs to be addressed because I just realized this. Okay,
You just realized it.
so everybody gives me crap about being old, but really, I am just the opposite of the other two guys because see, Carlos has the nice full head of black, dark hair. Eric's got
It's a little more salt and
full head.
pepper if you saw it in different light, but yes.
Eric's got the full head, kind of looks brownish with a little bit of gray mixed in, okay? But neither of them got the facial hair or anything, right? So I just have to offset the balance because I don't have the full head of hair, but I have the facial hair, and mine's just straight white now. So it's the counterbalance. You see the opposites, and it works. It works.
Are you
That's
gonna
why
wait
this
for
is
that-
here.
You got to wait for that to get a little longer and then do it like a comb over.
I actually need to trim it. It's been a while since it's like gotten much more length to it, and I know it'll grow longer, but I need to trim it a little bit. Let it get a little healthy again.
After you've done your ZZ Top edition, you're in. I think you're a shoo-in for this year. I think you got it.
LaGrange.
Hobby Champs is correct. It was a very important thing that we had clarifications made. Very important. Josh says, just to confirm, you're not on from 8 to 10 Friday on your channel. No, we're basically we're honoring the request, which was as part of the Hobby Palooza thing. Since they're going to start it on the Friday, basically we're going to honor the idea of not setting up another live stream during the same time. So then we'll start at 10, and then we'll go like Eric behind the scenes has told me, like Carlos, all night till the end, the end.
And he's riding his bike the whole time.
Well,
Yes.
no, but I want to get up and ride Saturday morning, so I'm not going to bed at 6 a.m. because
Eric,
if you
once
start-
midnight crosses over, that is Saturday morning. You can get on the stationary bike and just start.
You already be loose, warmed up, stretched out.
Yes. And by then, Eric, don't worry. Listen, I came prepared. I already ordered this week, and I already have it. I have a fresh case of beer. I got enough beer to last all night and well into the day. Plenty.
You could
Don't even worry about it.
ride the bike while reading War and Peace this time.
Amazing. Sensational. But yes. So Josh, to answer your question, 10 p.m. Eastern on the 4 Collectors channel. That's where it shall be. Put a rubber band in it, Brandon. Albino. Captain Lou Albano.
Albano, yeah.
Captain
Very
Lou.
nice. Gotta love Captain Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Guys, sorry I didn't like it.
Mom is not a fan of the beard.
Mm. There you go. Don't worry, Eric. You'll be awake for sunrise so you can go ride. Exactly. You're
Jesus.
welcome. Again, you ungrateful swine. Again, with your lack of gratitude. It's unbelievable. All the time, Eric. All the time. Unbelievable.
You know, we stopped Friday night. We ended at midnight, couple minutes after, whatever. And then you and I talked for a couple minutes after that. I went to bed pretty much right away and fell asleep. Man, when that alarm clock went off at 7 a.m., I wanted to throw it through the window. I'm like, no. But I got
Sounds
up.
like an Eric.
I got up and rode, but I did not like it. And I cursed you out a lot.
Sounds an awful lot like an Eric problem.
Yeah.
I was good. I had
you
no
were-
such issues.
If you were in my grasp, it would have been a Carlos problem.
No. I've seen what that hip can do. It would have still been an Eric problem. It would have been like, oh, my hip. Oh, God, why? Why did I tell them all my weaknesses?
Ugh. It's the funny thing about my hip, and I think I've said this, is that I can ride my bike all day. The joint goes around in a circle, no problem at all. Can do it. Literally has done it 8 hours. Okay, no issues. I can't run anymore, and I'm a cross country coach. So I can't run with the kids. I have to ride my bike when the kids run. I can't demonstrate how things are done and had proper running form because I run with the giddy up now. I cannot run. So I used to be a runner before I found cycling. Running was my passion, and I'd go out and run, 60 plus miles a week. And now I can't do it because my hip's got a giddy up in it.
Was those 60 miles voluntary, or was
My mother was
Kathy chasing you?
My mother was chasing me in the car.
Okay.
Brandon, I'm glad you asked this question because my statement was going to be, first it was the running, and then when the hip became a problem, then he went to the cycling so that he could evade the people that were out to get him. Eric tries to talk a big game, but let's be honest. All I need to do to find out if Eric can still run is we just need Angry Marcel. Eric will run.
Oh, I'll run with the giddy up.
We can find out.
Nobody likes Angry Marcel, man. I'm telling you.
I like how he mentioned that he was a coach, though, and because of the hip, he's incapable of coaching. Because,
demonstrating. I can still yell.
That's what the good coaches do.
Yeah, I just yell, run faster. Coaching cross country is easy. You just yell, run faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically hockey.
Don't trip. Don't hit that rock.
Yeah. That's basically hockey coaching in a nutshell. Skate harder. Josh here says 60 miles uphill both ways, I bet. Yes.
There was used to be a lot of, you make sure you had hills on your workout. Yeah, absolutely. And that's
on that shocking revelation.
And you didn't mention the snow though, the knee deep snow.
Well, the impressive part was that it was knee deep snow in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
That's how serious it was. In those days it was tough.
That's how it was back in the day. Old school, man.
Yep. Zach here says, don't feel bad for Eric having to get up Saturday. He's known for a good while that it's going to be late night, including tonight. Literally, I'm telling him, prepare yourself right away. Do it now.
I'll be napping, man. I'm thinking going to bed at 7 p.m., wake up 9:45.
This could be good, Brandon. Like, what happens is, like, oh, where's Eric? Kathy, can you just cattle prod? Give him the cattle prod. Give him the cattle prod.
The thing is, the show will start, right? She'll get the message on her phone. She'll tune in and be like, where's my idiot son? And I'll be up here snoring.
Pretty much sounds on brand to me. I got to be honest. It really does. Sounds about right.
I've slept through the start before. I've shown up 5 minutes late because Michelle's come in and going, don't you have a show? Like, what time is it? It's 8:05. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is true. Zach says, you can have so many people come on rotation Friday easily, 6 to 8 hour stream, no joke. So, Zach, you're discussing the back in the olden days. I used to go, the comment was, I used to go to the bullpen. That's actually what I used to call it. We'd have like a rotation. A lot of folks, especially during the pandemic period, COVID time, there was a lot of folks out there, and they'd be like, "All right, you want to come on for a bit?" And then they'd rotate it. That's how we wound up with 7 hour shows.
I think we need to get our two West Coast
Brennan, you got to have the signal. Just you go into the bullpen, bring them in.
I think Spicy Eye and Amanda should come on because they're 3 hours difference. They're not exhausted. They're still good to go. So I think they should come on and fill some time while I nap.
Oh, listen, Eric, if we needed to go real old school, like I go call the bullpen, I bring in Spicy Eye, I bring in Amanda, and then we bring in the Aussies. I've got the Aussies. We bring in the people from London. We just go all the way. We bring in Name. No, see, man, literally as I say the words. Boom.
No. If someone says his name a third time, he'll show up. So.
Oh, you know what?
You said he has like 64 kids. Just pop one on each hour.
you know what the best is though? You're also forgetting like Dylan is in Hawaii, and they're like 5-6 hours off. It's like perfect.
Just
amazing.
As long as I don't have to do it.
Oh no, you have to do it. What about in perpetuity? Do you not understand? And here we go. Name says, and here I am. Boom!
Fuck! God damn son of a bitch!
Boom! Look at that. Beautifully done. Moving on. Mike here says, do you remember back in the day before all the energy drinks, the over-counter pills called No Dose? Yes. Carlos hosts his own Hobby Palooza within Hobby Palooza. That was always the running joke. I was like, it's like, oh, Brandon, that's how I ended up. Eric's favorite, Jeremy Lee, is gonna steal the idea on Saturday. But for the record, I was the first one in Hobby Palooza to have the turn it off whenever you want. Let the record state that I was because I could not be confined to a mere hour of Hobby Palooza, Brandon. I shall not be confined to such things. Scandalous. Zach says, just put a link in the comments, give randoms an hour. So, no joke, I thought about that. I legitimately thought about that. Just being like, we'll put the link in there and see what happens. Hobby Jam says, just picturing Eric all miserable, cursing. Carlos is sleeping like a baby with a smiling face. I could do that, but I gotta be honest, Hobby Champs, I kind of just enjoy being able to sit here and enjoy Eric's slow degradation. I want to be here for it.
Yeah,
I'm ready. Yep.
Yeah,
Speak his name and he will show. Look at that. And with the correct spelling. I love it.
My life
Indeed.
sucks.
It's like, listen, Dylan, we might have to do it. We might have to call it a bullpen and bring in. It might have to happen. Just so Eric can be here, because Eric has always wanted to do a live stream on Hawaii time.
He's talked about it a lot.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He will not shut up about it.
No.
It's all about luau's and luau this and luau that. Hey, I'd like
It's
to
in the text
surfing.
all the time. What time is it in Hawaii? I always have
Yes.
dreamed about recording there.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Mhm.
Lies. What the hell is that? I can't even see what that is.
Those are hands.
I can't see it.
Hand emojis. Come on, man.
I'll give him a hand emoji. I got two.
Those would be finger emojis.
They're on my hands, jackass.
Are you sure?
No, I don't know.
Can you really be sure of anything?
No, I've had a lot of concussions.
So when you go off at the air at 4 a.m., is it Eastern Standard Hawaiian time? Valid question. Valid question. See, Eric, if I had a way to monitor the donations, I would seriously do that. I'd be like, all right, for another half hour, we need this much. I would do it. No problem. It'd be so easy for me. I would literally make a whole spread of snacks, and I'd just be eating them while I'm slowly torturing you. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so excited, Eric. Like I'm getting pumped right now as we speak.
yeah,
I'm
me
getting
too.
pumped up.
Thrilled. Can't wait.
Spicy E tonight. That's right. That's right. Good old Spicy E. All right, Brandon. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly refill this drink. But before I do, obviously, being that it is your birthday, any fun birthday festivities, anything that you got that was going on, or just kind of hanging out for the most part, taking a chill day? Obviously, you were out and about, but I mean, other than that, anything? Any ice cream cake? Nothing? I'll be right back.
No, my daughter was here last night. She had to get up early and go to work this morning. But we went out, had dinner last night, got some ice cream, hung out. She hadn't watched the new season of Squid Game, so sat and watched that with her. Just hung out yesterday. And then today, it was Monday, so, had to work. Believe it or not, even though I work for myself, I still get up and work even on my birthday. Even though my wife was like, you don't need to do nothing today. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So
Make that money.
yeah. And then she rode with me up this evening to go pick this stuff up. And then we have a plan to go. There's an arcade in our town, opened up a few months ago, and we want to go check it out. It's like $15 and you can play for however long they're open or whatever. So I'm gonna go over there and just chill and hang out and see what it's like. And then my brother-in-law's birthday is later this month, and so this weekend we're all supposed to get together. We try every month to like go do an escape room or something like that. Unfortunately, the escape room was booked this weekend, so we're gonna find something to get into and do. And then I guess my sister-in-law is gonna cook kebabs or something out on the grill and stuff. So nothing too exciting, just little family time.
Nice.
Excellent.
I like it. I
Very
like it. That sounds good. I like Mike's suggestion. For every like button, instead of Eric paying for it, you can stay an extra half hour.
Oh my god.
The likes are something I could monitor. If we hit certain like button thresholds, Brandon.
Yeah.
And as you go on, you will have new people come in able to add more likes, which it's kind of like eBay extended bidding.
Yeah. Where are you gonna be, Mr. All these ideas? Where are you gonna be Friday night at 10 p.m.?
Well, I just told you that I'm supposed to be doing stuff this weekend. We'll see. I might be able to make an appearance. We'll see.
Wonderful.
Maybe he can come on here and root you on, Eric. Root you on.
Yeah.
Zach says, Friday, when Eric starts whining about going to bed, the clock starts for 4 more hours and the show's over. Mm-hmm. Love sunbathing at the beach, baby.
That's
Should be the like button.
Absolute nightmare. There's no place I would hate to be more than sitting on a hot beach in the sand, just sitting there.
So one of my favorite things for today, my wife, one of her, I guess, they're still co-workers, but they're ex-co-workers, I guess, because she's no longer in the same department. Anyway, it's a friend. They live up the road, but she has a 5-year-old and then like 14-month-old. And then they're actually at the beach on vacation, and they called me, and the 5-year-old, my wife answers the phone and she's like, I need to see Brandon, that little 5-year-old talk.
Yeah.
And so my wife, she brought the phone over, and she's out on the beach, and she sings me happy birthday. So I'm like, oh, I got serenaded at the beach today. So
that's nice.
That was nice. So
there you go.
Took time out of their beach vacation for her to call and sing me happy birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. Josh here says, did eBay release any more details about extended bidding? Not really. Nothing yet. It's in experimental phase. We know if somebody makes a bid within the 2 minutes, it extends it by 2 minutes, but we don't know any details. It's something that's being thrown out there that I guess I haven't encountered it yet, but I don't know. Maybe we will at some point. But if they're going this far along, I'll agree with, I think Neo was talking about it. If they're going this far to announce it and let everybody know about it, they're soliciting feedback. So it means they're definitely going to try it. And I don't know what percentage of things are going to get tried on, but they're definitely going to try it.
One thing I have been seeing is more people commenting about eBay fees because they don't have the top rated status and everything. And eBay has, so for so long, people are like, oh, eBay don't, punish these people and blah, blah, blah. They have started to deduct the seller level of people if they are canceling too many auctions. Like if the auction doesn't go for the price that they're happy with and they just cancel the sale, they're now hitting those people pretty hard. And I think it adds like an additional 10% in fees or something like that if you're below standard because of, whatever metrics on there, which quite honestly, if you're selling on eBay, it is not hard to keep your metrics up. It's jackasses that cancel their auctions and stuff that get put in those positions. So, but that is something they are starting to punish people for the cancellations and stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting. Sounds fair. But yeah, right now I think that's where we're at on that one, Josh. That's really all we got at the moment. So now, I think it is time. It's time for a little silly card of the week, Eric.
All right.
We're going to do it. Silly card of the week. Brought to us by AMG Collectibles. AMGcollectibles.ca. AMG Collectibles YouTube channel. There will be a podcast episode that I will record tomorrow that will appear on Wednesday. Collector of the Scalps, Collector of the People. He already sent me some cards and items that we're going to be showcasing. And this week, the new product for the hockeys is going to be Upper Deck Credentials, which may play into the silly card of the week. Ooh, look at the synergies. Now, Brandon did not have a card in time, so alas, he will refrain from this week's festivities. But real quick, I will grab last week's results just to give you those. And let me see if I can pull them up here, because we do count all the votes. I forgot to take a little picture of it for us this week, but you can check out the post there and you'll be able to see what the percentages are, but I'll read them off here. So last week we got 37 votes, and it was 14% for the 65 Tops Arrigo. You guys did not appreciate the vintage. Not nearly as much. 24% for Miguel Cairo, and Project 70 Babe Ruth showing his standard physique, 62%.
Excellent.
That
I've
was
been
the
on
winner.
heater lately.
And I
was gonna
thought
say,
Eric
you-
only submitted that because the mag was, he thought, wrong way. It would look like a normal Babe Ruth picture.
Yeah,
One never knows. This is Brandon. This is why I had to crack down. Eric has clearly tapped into the zeitgeist of the mentality of the voters, or he has a lot of fake accounts. I have suspicions.
I'd go with the
But-
fake accounts. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Well, the voter, the number
you
did
make it?
drop when then he started winning. So I think he was trying to like pull wool over our eyes in voting like for yours and mine and not make it look too suspicious with all of his accounts. And then he backed them off and is just going with his now. I think that's what
There's some
happened.
voter suppression tricks going on here.
Yeah.
We may launch an investigation, but for now, we're going to count the results, but we're going to move on. There will be a community post for this week's results, for this week's options. All right, first one here, Eric.
Okay.
You are a futurist.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Futurist. Yep. This got my attention because of this gentleman's face as he is throwing that maybe a fork ball. I can't really tell. I'm not into the baseballs, but I don't know how much more you can zoom in. But this guy's face is quite contorted. Tongue is out. Face is scrunched. I mean, that's quite a face he's making, and that's the picture they decided to go with. So I thought that was quite silly.
I thought that looked an awful lot like a chocolate stick face to me.
Yeah,
It looks like maximum effort.
I might make that face when I'm about to dive into a chocolate stick. That could happen. But,
That's all fine and good. See, name is literally on the wavelength that I was on. Boom, right there.
Can you go find something better to do? You got 48 kids. You shouldn't be watching YouTube and typing.
I thought it was 64.
No, he's got.
What happened to the other
48
16?
Got 48 kids,
Mhm.
and he should
So
go
that-
take care of them.
So that is Eric's contribution this week. But Brandon, I talked about credentials, and I think I've
Ooh,
got it.
I like
And
some
again,
credentials.
we got some credentials, and I
Is it the
thought
hockey's
this one.
credentials?
It is the hockeys,
Oh,
and I thought, I think you're going to appreciate this, Brandon. This is from the brand new credentials product. This
Ooh.
is one of the cards they use to showcase this product. I want to share it with you.
That's a card.
That is a die cut card. I think it's called t-shirts or something like that. The point is, this is an actual card that is in the new credentials product. I did not make that up. This will be one of the items that I will be showing off on that podcast episode
Eric.
because it is part of the sell of the product. That's why, Eric, that's why I rejected your original attempt. This is a silly card.
I don't even think Gary V would have beat that. And if
Nothing.
it did, like, I am more apt to understand the Gary V than what the hell is this?
Like I said, Eric, this is not only a real card, this is a real card that was used in the promotional material for credentials.
Like, it doesn't even look good. It looks worse than one of those knockoff. Like, we were just talking about the beach. You know, you go on the boardwalk and they got all them shirt shops and everything. This looks worse quality than a shirt that you would get at the beach shop. Like,
So look, I remind you, I've stated it before. We will acknowledge all the votes, but listen to me carefully. This is the
I'm
silly
glad
card
I'm
of the
not in
week.
This one. There
This
was no
is the
use.
silly card of the week. Do you understand me?
Did you get a picture of the back of it by any chance?
Is there
I-
a Jason Robertson?
it's part-
though? I gotta check.
It's part of the promotional material, Eric. They only show the front of the card. But let me show you guys just so you confirm that I'm not making this up.
Purpose?
Here, listen to me. Right here on the screen. 24-25. Upper Deck Credentials Hockey checklist and everything else. Okay? I'm gonna scroll through. This is all the stuff that I'm gonna go through with AMG. We're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Here's
Now-
part of it. The debut ticket access autographs. Stan Coven, great, fine. Okay. Credentials ticket access, cool.
Okay, sure.
This is one of the inserts as well.
Okay, the
this is what-
bobblehead is a little quirky, but
There are two.
I
There are
collect
two
bobbleheads,
ones.
so I'm not gonna say
playing
anything.
bubble hockey.
I'm about to get to it now. It's
Oh.
called Repetitive Head Shirts, which is limited to 250 copies each, and Hawaiian shirt prints, 100 copies each.
Jesus.
There it is. Boom.
Name said something funny. I got to give him credit. That's funny as all hell.
So I want to remind you all.
All right, you're getting credit for that one, jackass. That's funny.
But Eric, for the important thing is, for the record, that is, so I just showed you, that is legitimately a card that is part of the promotional material of this brand new product. Someone designed that, someone approved it, and it was included as part of the promotional material. Eric, boom!
If I pay $200 a box and I pull that, I'm gonna commit suicide right in the middle of the card shop.
Amanda says, that's not silly, that's rage bait. I didn't make it. I merely report the news.
God.
It's only a 10-card checklist.
Yeah. Who's in that one? Did you have it in front of you?
Yeah, it's Ovi, Artemi Panarin, Cole Caulfield, McDavid, Pasternak, Jack Hughes, Makar, Matthew Tkachuk, Nathan McKinnon, and Sidney Crosby.
Wow.
So
now you know what's funnier about that, Eric, as well? There was another insert that wasn't included in those pictures that I could have used if I could pull up the image for it, and it would have also qualified as a good candidate for Silly Card of the Week. That wasn't the only one that I could have chosen from this series. I had one other option.
What is That's a Hattie?
Oh, it's very basic. That one, I saw a picture of it. It's very basic. Oh, I found it. All right, this was a bonus one. I'm not going to use this for Silly Card of the Week because, like I said, although this one could legitimately have been a choice. I don't think there's a wrong answer if I had chosen this one. Okay, 1 second here. I want to zoom in.
Bubble hockey one is up there too.
But you know what I think you would prefer, Eric? You know what would make you feel even better?
Nothing.
Would be a better choice?
Nothing.
What about this one? How about Provisions?
Oh, I like the Provisions, but that's ridiculous.
I had to go with the t-shirt one because not only is it heads on a t-shirt, it's die cut.
Didn't I use the Robertson when he was like dressed in the cowboy hat with the long Western jacket and everything?
Yes, but you got to admit, like, being a Thunder God is a different thing.
Yeah, that one takes it to a different level.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Eric, this was the cutting room floor option. I had this one as well.
Yeah, I got nothing.
The checklist in total, it looks like they kind of broke it down into the levels like it was saying, because there's Hawaiian print ones. That's 10. It's a 10-card checklist, but some players are repeated, some aren't, so it's kind of confusing. Because like Austin Matthews is on that list, but then you have Caulfield, McDavid, Pasternak, Tkachuk, and Crosby on that one as well. And then there's the arena giveaways jerseys, which I'm guessing are also pretty ridiculous.
So what do you think, Eric? I remember Upper Deck is our exclusive manufacturer for the hockeys. Don't you feel like we're in good hands?
Do you see where my hand is?
Mm-hmm. I bet you were thinking, where is Billy? Well, Billy is probably coming back from Texas because he was at All In watching the wrestling.
Could someone explain to me? And I'm being a little serious. The concert that he went to with, this generation Spice Girls. Who are they? What do they do?
You mean Blackpink? It's in his description. He put it on there.
It's like, what the hell is this?
I've heard of them. I don't know. I don't know any of their songs. I can't help you there.
He's really excited about seeing them, so I'm happy for him. But I don't get it.
I didn't see when I saw the videos and stuff that he included in there. I didn't see this generation Spice Girls. I saw this generation's Kiss.
All right, now you're just being mean.
Brandon. Me saying this generation's Kiss is apparently being mean? Being Kiss is an insult? Wow.
There's actually a card that Eric would be interested in. I don't know what they look like, but there's an insert called Arena Giveaways Championship Rings. And they do have a Boston Bruin one.
I don't tell you. Like I said, once I saw that one under credentials, Eric, I was like, yes, I got this. That is what a proper silly card of the week is. Just in case we needed a reminder. That's how it's done. Remember, y'all, real card. I didn't, Bren, that one I didn't even need a custom card. I didn't need to make it up. Nope, you gave me that one on a silver platter.
I am glad I didn't have anything in the queue because I concede.
I think
that deserves to win.
I think my
deserves.
is over.
Go ahead.
So good. So good. So there will be a community post where you can vote for the correct answer.
If next week is not 100% shirt card, 0% Eric's card,
I'm
we're gonna have a
vote on his own.
I'm not even voting for myself. I'm voting for Carlos. Jesus Christ, that thing's horrible.
As soon as I saw Brandon, I was like, there is no other choice.
What was it, like 30 minutes ago? I'm sitting here talking about, printed autographs, and then you pop that up. Again, question, where the hell are we going?
Dark place.
Between that and a $55,000 Gary V card, I don't even want to be in this hobby anymore.
Actually, that's a good question. Let me pose it to the chat too. What is the last straw? What would be the last thing that would actually drive you out of the hobby? I'd be curious.
I'm pretty sure it's a $55,000 Gary V card.
Well, we already have that, so burn your cards. Get on with it.
I'm gonna sell them, and
I think it's a tough question because there's so much to choose from, and I think for the three of us, we were always like, it ain't for me. There's other playgrounds to play in, so we just go play in what we like. So, I mean, they can continue to do whatever the hell that was on the screen, and whatever. I guess in a sense we're like, oh, be creative, and then they put something out, and then we're like, oh, that's stupid as shit. But is it creativity, or is it? That just didn't seem too creative. They had to be like, we need to get some filler content for this product. What do you guys got? Hey, let's make a shirt with heads all over it. People will love it.
The 90s were creative. There was 1,000 products with hundreds of cards. And I don't recall looking at them and being like, this is, as they have in Letterkenny with Coach and Letterkenny, this is fucking embarrassing. And kicking trash cans. Okay. I don't remember doing that in the 90s. Now there's one company in hockey and one company in this sport and whatever. And I'm constantly seeing things that are just embarrassing. Big heads on little bodies, faces on shirts, cheese, slices of cheese.
Nothing on the size. Have you noticed, Brandon, that some of my favorite ones that have taken us to the darkest places are like die cut cards? The cheese thing, that's a shirt.
I appreciate die cut because I actually am a fan of die cuts, but I
don't remember making fun of the cards of the 90s when they invented die cut and they came out with glossy and they came out with this and that and all when all this
there were a few stupid ones.
I nothing like cheese, man. A slice of cheese. Okay, big heads, little bodies, face shirts. I mean, no, they didn't do any of that stuff in the 90s.
Well, didn't like Luke Hughes Lightning God? Didn't like Luke Hughes Lightning God?
No Luke Hughes Lightning Gods. Okay, none of that stuff. And it was all brand new, people sitting around being creative, coming up with things for the very first time, coming up with brand new ideas that have never ever been thought of before. And I don't recall looking at any of them going, are they smoking weed during their planning meetings? What's happening?
I'm gonna have so
Okay,
much fun,
Eric.
Brandon. Go
Honest
ahead.
question.
Hmm.
That head shirt card or the leaf leprechaun?
Ooh. Ooh.
As painful as this will be to say,
Leprechaun.
I would rather have the leprechaun.
I knew it. I knew it. Yes.
That's why I brought it up.
Yes. Yes. Brandon, well done by you. Extra happy birthday to you. Well done. Mike here says, that was probably the worst card I've ever seen from any company or any sport. I can't believe you would produce a card like that. Brandon, it is going to be my personal pleasure showing that to the collector the scallops. I want to see Steve's face. Oh,
I'm tuning into that, no doubt.
It's going to be amazing. Zachary
I'm
says,
tuning in, no question.
what if they do that just to get people talking about a product just like you did? Not necessarily because they think people like to change it. So see, I could get behind this concept. However, I would push back and say one thing. Yes, we'll talk about it, but like the cheese card, it doesn't translate into sales. It doesn't, we'll talk about it, but it doesn't mean like, oh my God, that means I got to buy a box. I'm in on that.
I'm going to give it.
Don't.
After
Breath
looking at the
hesitation.
checklist, I see the theme that they were going with, but I think they could have chose something different than that, because I think that one is a little bit too. They did different levels of arena giveaways. Okay, that's why there's the rings and the bobblehead and the Hawaiian shirts. But I think when you went with jerseys, head shirts, and then Hawaiian shirts, you went too many. Like, there's other things. Like, you could have done a pennant or, like something. It didn't have to be that. Like, I think they went too far and maybe ran out of ideas on what arenas give away.
So they went full Manoa, and you never go full Manoa.
Yeah,
That is a rule. That is a rule.
They took it maybe a step to, and that's probably
Full Manoa.
it's probably going to be like, well, no. Well, I was going to say it might be the toughest one to pull, but I think
I don't think
the
the odds of that one were
championship
that
ring and
crazy.
the Hawaiian shirt ones are the toughest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's even the one that was there isn't even the toughest one. They're there.
Yeah, it's like the second toughest one. So
I don't know what to tell you, but yeah. So Zach, I understand your question. All I gotta say is, I don't think it's gonna work. It's not gonna drive people to buy the product. I don't think. Between now and the time I record that episode, I'll find a way to keep a straight face while I let Steve react to it. It's gonna be good for me.
Yeah, you need to be
sadly.
responsible and everything on that show. So.
Oh, and I will be, Eric.
You gotta
let it not be said.
and sincere.
And I will be, Eric. I am there to accentuate the positive.
Yep.
And as soon as we stop recording, I will literally be sitting in my chair, and it will be something to the effect of.
As it should be. That is what should happen.
That's what's going to happen. That's a recreation of basically what will occur. Sadler says here, I've left other hobbies, mostly coming down to running out of justification to spend what things will come worth, or I lose interest. Living collectible-based hobbies isn't a straightforward thing, which I agree. Like, let's face the reality. There is very little to... any new product is never going to drive me out of the hobby. The pricing on new products is not going to drive me out of the hobby, because realistically, I'm collecting what I'm collecting anyway. I'm looking for my stuff. There is stuff that I'll still find out there. But what it comes down to is, as long as the stuff that I want is available at a price that I can live with, we're good. There are stuff all the time where it's like, I can't justify that price. So I'll give you a good example. I'll circle back to that CSC show I was talking about. I saw the Vintage. I saw the Greatest Living Boston Bruin and thought of Eric. And again, my great, wonderful generosity. Again, ungrateful swine that he is. But I did see a handful of other things. I will say though, and I talked about it on the pickup video, it was at least 85% Pokemans. At least 85%. Like, it was so heavy Pokemans, super heavy Pokemans. which is fine at the end of the day, whatever. I'm not a person who's going to complain about that. It just means for me that that show probably doesn't have, I can't justify the cost of the ticket to go in with 85% Pokemans. So it doesn't make sense from that perspective. Again, this comes back to cost because I went there, and again, it was my birthday. I decided to go there for a bit. But the thing is, by a little past lunchtime, I was done because I had looked at everything that I need to look at because there wasn't that much to look at. That doesn't mean though that I didn't see anything, because even the few tables that had predominantly sports cards, I came across one dealer table that had a bunch of tables, and he was a lot of sports. He even had some hockeys, and he even had a nice Mike Modano piece on the table. So I was looking at, okay, great, awesome. You know, again, wasn't seeing a ton of stuff, but I was able to find a couple of things. I looked at it, and it was from 2002, 2003. It was Be a Player Ultimate, so my hockey folks will know this one. A lot of different subsets in that particular year. One of them was like, I think it was called Magnificent Ones. It was a Mario Lemieux themed set. And basically what they would do is they'd have two players, Mario Lemieux and another player, and they would both have game-used pieces, but it would also have a Mario Lemieux autograph on it. So it's a Mario Lemieux on-card auto, a game-used Mario Lemieux memorabilia piece, a jersey piece, and then the other player would be on there as a game-used piece as well. You had Peter Forsberg, you had Yager. Think of a lot of the main characters you had. Modano was one of the people on that checklist, and the guy had the Modano. But then I'm scanning through, and they're all out of 10. So, and this is with a Mario Lemieux on-card auto. So you're getting a nice autograph on there too. So I'm looking at it going like, okay, that's a cool card for sure. But obviously Mario autograph on there is going to bump up the price quite a bit as well. But I'm looking at it, scanning, and like Yager's like $1,200, $1,300. I'm like, whew. Forsberg is like, so I don't completely see the price tag on it, but as soon as I can see the Modano is a 4-figure card, so he's got at least over 1,000. I'm like, I'm not looking to spend $1,000 on the Modano card today. I'm just not. But it's a nice card. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't be interested in it. Just clearly not that price. So that's kind of the thing. It's like, yep, out of the entire room, I found something that would totally fit in my PC. The price was wrong, Bob. Can't do it. I could have paid the $1,000, but I'm like, I really don't want to. it was a situation like, no, I really don't want to.
No.
It's a cool card though. Doesn't mean it's not a cool card, but it is. But that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. So out of the entire room, that's all I could find that would fit like that section of the PC. So I ended up walking away with the Vintage card, with Thornton, and I was like, okay, good, I'm good. I took home most of my money. Okay, and I deposited back in the account. Fair enough. They can't all be winners.
I have similar issues with that, you know, down here where I go to a show. You know, the Pokemans are filling up the tables, and that's fine if that's what people are buying and that's what dealers can sell and make money. And I'm not downplaying that. Whatever, you know, makes sense for the masses. But there's more and more Pokemon tables, and down here in the States, most of the tables have 3 of the 4 major sports. And it's like, do you have any hockey? No. Do you have any hockey? No. And you find that, you know, 1 or 2 tables in a 50 table show, only 2 tables have hockey cards on them, you know? And if it's modern, that's a waste of my time too. So, yeah, you know, but I don't consider it a wasted day because, you know, got out of the house and went and did something I enjoy. But it's getting a little disappointing when, you know, you drive someplace, you know, you take time out of your day to go do it, and you get there and, you know, it's Pokemans and baseball cards. Well, if you're a vintage hockey collector, it's, you know, you're not finding what you're looking for. So and you take your money home and you leave. So
Of life, indeed. But it happens. This is the way it goes. In this case, it worked out. I had lunch, came back over, and I had enough time to get home and enjoy watching my wrestling, which is really all I wanted. I was joking with Eric after I finished the Friday Live. It's like, Saturday, I just wanted to have a nice chill day. I wanted to go to the car show, check it out. Maybe I find something, maybe I don't. Pick up some stuff, come back, and sit down and watch my wrestling show. And I did. I got to sit down and watch my wrestling show in peace. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So it ended up still being peaceful. So it wasn't a total loss. I was like, okay, interesting. Zach says, I'm headed to go to read the comments in Mike's video when this ends. There are some fun comments in there. Settle Fan says, you have to understand where you stand. If you have a tight niche, it's always going to be tough in everything. This is true.
It is true.
Yep. Name here says, Tutu is in the 0304 Be a Player Ultimate Magnificent Ones, but it only has the Lemieux auto and only a picture of Tutu, so it doesn't really interest me. Yep, and that's fair. That's why I say the 2002 one, they both have memorabilia pieces on there, so it is interesting. Like, for a player collector, it's still interesting. The Mario autograph isn't really necessary. It's a nice add-on. It's a nice feature. I actually have one other card that has a Mario Lemieux autograph on it, but Medano also had an autograph on the card. It was a multiplayer autograph. So that made sense. But I would still be interested, just again, not at that price. Because again, I'm literally just, I want it because Medano's on it, but the cost is the cost because of the Lemieux auto. The Lemieux auto is elevating the price to a certain, it's the same thing that happened with that Gretzky from the Cup that I showed you guys. The design was not to my liking, but the fact that Gretzky is on there with an autograph does this to the price. It pumps it right up. So even if I thought the card looked nice, the fact is it would be super expensive because it's a tough card and Gretzky's autograph is on there. And then on top of everything else, I don't even like the card. That would be a tough sell as a player collector. And then you're kind of stuck because you still want to collect your player, but the other player being on there bumps the price right up. And that's where you kind of get stuck. So it's like, I get it. I can't complain about it. But unfortunately, that's what creates. So right now, there's not a lot of market to do a lot of card shows right now. So I'm going to kind of sit back on it. I'm still finding stuff on eBay and such, but now I got to be a little pickier with what I'm looking for. That's where we're at right now. And right now, I'm in kind of ongoing negotiations with a few folks for some wrestling cards. But they have a very inflated value in their head. And I'm basically going like, okay, we need to have a conversation. This conversation involves, I understand what you want to get. My question is, what do you actually think you can get? They're two different things. Your dreams are here. Realities are down here. Just letting you know.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bit of a gap between your dreams and my realities. Because I'm probably the high bidder on that stuff. So it's like, you're probably going to sell it to me anyway. The question is, how long do we want to take before we arrive at my price? Or near my price? Just letting you know. Cecil says, good evening, gents. I must have lost track of time. It's a Friday night now. Ask Eric.
I got confused.
You got one job, Eric. Read the calendar.
It has numbers on it. That's like maths. I don't do maths. The numbers scare. I got confused.
A lot of things. Popcorn scares you.
I don't like popcorn. It's yucky.
I bet if you did the Hawaii thing on the beach, if you had just the kernels, they would pop into popcorn for you while you're out there.
Probably. It's hot as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way. No, thank you.
Indeed. Well, I could have a little bit more fun making fun of Eric, but it is a Monday.
It is.
Eric's calendar notwithstanding. And we've got, I think, based on Eric's calculations, he did a little rough maths. Again, he is afraid of maths, but he tried to do it. I think, 37 hours of live stream on Friday into Saturday? Is that what it is? Something like that?
No.
Longer? You sure?
No.
Eric said, I accept that challenge.
No.
I can go longer than that. I can do it on my back. I can do it on a bicycle.
Nope. Don't wanna.
Is that your final answer, Eric? Are you sure?
I'm sure I don't wanna.
It's not about what you want, Eric. It's about what the people have. What about the soldiers, Eric? Why are you not appreciating the soldiers? As a fake American, you should appreciate the soldiers more.
I appreciate the soldiers.
I bet they could have a 37-hour live stream.
Probably.
See, Brandon, this fake American all the time. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, in Boston.
Yeah, exactly. He's not even from Boston. Who are you kidding?
I'm 20 minutes north.
Let's be real. Brandon. Eric has been trying to sell us on this Boston. He just makes up. These are just words he makes up. They're not even real places. He went and Googled the Boston. Everybody knows he's from New Hampshire.
I'd rather
He
be.
just doesn't want to admit it. Would you rather be?
Yes.
Would you rather be from wherever Tim is?
Tim is from Rhode Island, and I don't want to be from Rhode Island.
Wow, you are so judgy.
I don't want to
As
be
a man in a rolling truck in Manila. What are we doing out there?
I don't want to be from Massachusetts either. I'd rather be from New Hampshire if I could. I'd much rather.
Wow. Eric has a lot of very strong opinions, and he assumes that they would want to have. They're like, no, okay, great, go.
It says on their license plate, "Live free or die."
And you're still alive.
I know, because I live in Massachusetts, where our license plate says, "More taxes, please."
Yes, and I increased the like button fee. So what's the problem? Sounds like the life you've chosen, Eric. Sounds like the life you've chosen. CC says, what time do you guys start on Friday? 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until forever. Because Eric says he will not give up. He's not a quitter.
No, I'm a quitter. I'm a big quitter.
You certainly are. You quit on self-dignity, self-respect.
Oh, God, a long time ago.
Maybe, Eric, you could learn to embrace popcorn during our 37-hour live stream.
I don't think I'm gonna.
I bet.
I don't like it.
See, Brandon, what I might just have to do is it's a certain point during the live show, I'll just pop some popcorn in the background. I'll just start eating it.
I'm not scared of it like the other thing.
You could,
like
Eric, we could make you scared of popcorn.
No, I don't want to be scared of popcorn.
Popcorn is a great way of absorbing mayo.
I'm just saying I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I'm not grossed out by it. I'm not, scared of it like other things.
If we throw mayo infused popcorn at you at the expo,
I don't want to talk about it.
Brandon, I got ideas. I got some ideas. You might have to discuss this with the missus. I think we need you down here. Brandon, I got ideas and I need accomplices. I mean, helpers. Just throwing it out there. Just posing the question. But anyway, all right. Last comments and questions from the chat. Like I said, this is a bonus special episode because Eric doesn't know how to read a calendar. Links in the description to Hobby Palooza stuff. Also links in the description to AMG and a lot of that related.
No more questions or comments. I want to go.
Ooh. See, this is going to be, Brandon, this is going to be very similar to the way the live stream is going to go on Friday. Because I'm going to have to set people up with the like button. We're going to have like button targets. We're going to want some donations. I need evidence of donations. And then we just start adding time to the clock. Because right now we're just taking it easy tonight. I haven't even cracked open a beer tonight. Because I'm saving my energies for it. It's going to be amazing.
And of course.
Fill the chat with comments and questions, please. Yeah, name. This is it. This is it right now.
Just jump.
Your ability to torment Eric is on you. You people out there. There's more than 20 of you. So you got to hit on the typing machines.
The typing machines. Oh, crap.
That's right. Otherwise, it's going to be nothing but Eric serenading you with War and Peace and head t-shirts. Lots of head t-shirts. Nightmare fuel is what that is. That's nightmare fuel.
Where can I go to buy one of those? I have one made somehow.
Eric, I want so badly for there to be somebody at Upper Deck who has those shirts.
Oh my God.
I want it to be based on somebody's shirts. And I want to know who that is. I want names, Brandon. I want names.
Really wearing one so bad.
Let's get a head t-shirt made of Eric.
Oh, you already have one. Who are you shitting?
But he means another one.
Your 48 kids are like, Dad, who is that on your shirt? Don't you worry about it.
Oh, Eric, you're gonna appreciate when we pick a certain headshot that we're gonna use on the shirt, and then it's gonna be part of the BIC official merch store. the bougie Eric head shirt. Brandon, I'm getting merch ideas right now. We're getting serious.
It wouldn't be hard to select the headshot. I mean, it's the same one in every frame.
It's true. It's true. He's pretty much got the same look on his face all the time. Actually, hold on. I believe we've got some video footage that also includes basically the same headshot.
Carlos, hey, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley. I know I don't know you, but can I ask you a favor? Can you do something about this guy? Get him away from me. What a pain in the... Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Just do something. Thanks.
He didn't mean it.
Oh, I still have the ones I clipped of him like eating the chocolate stick and some other questionable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Frames. That would
questionable.
Work on
say no more. Yeah. Questionable. Say no more. All you have to do is say questionable. See, I actually like. I know it's a head shirt, but Brandon, I wouldn't mind having this on a shirt on the merch stand. Can we get this on a shirt?
Here we go.
That's a winner right there. I could see dozens of people buying and rocking the shirt. Dozens. What you do with a gigantic jar of mayonnaise, Eric, in the comfort of your own home while watching Emmanuel in space is your own business.
On that note, I haven't seen my wife in a week, so let's go.
Wow. And the problem is she's been back for more than a week. She's actually been in the house the whole time. It's like, Eric is like, it's about time I see you. Can I see you now? Bit of an awkward conversation. A Willy Wonka mayo and armor. That is true.
It does look a little bit like an Oompa Loompa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Indeed.
The purple things.
Y'all had your chance. So now, hit the like button on your way out. Eric's going to pay for it. We'll be back on Friday for our 400-hour live stream.
Nope.
It just may go on for weeks, months, years.
Nope.
Who knows?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Could be some surprises. I know for a fact there's going to be some surprises, Eric.
Oh,
I know some things that are going to be on there. Eric doesn't know anything. He knows nothing.
Yeah, what else is new?
Mm-hmm. 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 Indeed. All right, that's it. Brandon, happy birthday. Appreciate you joining us on this day.
Thank you. Thank you to the chat.
Absolutely. Now, this is, like I said, I labeled it as a Hobby Talk Live because it is not a podcast episode. I'll probably do a little standalone episode. I've got a couple of ideas that I'll do. Next week, we'll be back on the normal cycle. You'll get the normal podcast episode next week where it'll be everybody here, and it'll give Eric a chance to figure out the true spirit of the silly card of the week because he tried to defy it. Plus, he's got to figure out how to pre-order cases of credentials so he can get head shirts, inserts. Help him out.
Case hit.
He needs all of them. Name says happy birthday to close it off. Perfect. On that bombshell, more videos coming up on the channel. Live streams normally on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for this week, where we're going to be on the Four Collectors channel at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Signature for Soldiers is the charity, and Eric has vowed not to rest until the wee hours of Saturday morning.
No, I didn't say that. No.
That's exactly what he did, and that's canon. Have yourselves a good one. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.